Wind them up and turn them loose to play in the clay on Williams Grove Speedway. The feature green is out. Chad Trout beats Rumsey into turn number 1. Rumsey jets off the bottom and takes the lead down the backstretch. Logan Rumsey, your early race leader, as the rest of the field scatters out down the backstretch. We got one down with Logan Rumsey the leader. Chad Trout out of shape as he crosses the start-finish line. He went down near the inside rail and vaulted back up across the racetrack, saves the car. Trouble in turn number 3. J.J. Loss turns sideways in hard contact. In turn number 3, T.J. Stutz slams into the side of J.J. Loss and flips the car over. In turn number 3, the red flag is out. We're underway. Rumsey gets a nice start and pulls the field into turn number 1. Trout rebounds nicely down the backstretch, keeping the leader within his sights. Zierfoss takes a look to the inside, trying to get around Latimus, can't make the pass. Danny Dietrich to the inside of Chase Dietz, trying to make a pass, and instead gets driven by the 75 of Cameron Smith. Brock Zierfoss drives underneath Preston Latimus and takes the third spot. Latimus tries to return the favor down in turn number 1, but Zierfoss gets the better of him. And Brock Zierfoss still battling for that third spot. He and Latimus exchanging it in every corner. Back and forth for the third spot as they both gain on Chad Trout in second. Chase Dietz now is up to the 5th spot. Make that the 4th spot. Zierfoss drives up on the 1X of Chad Trout, goes low, slides up to catch the cushion. Trout will try to come back on him. And Chase Dietz locks fast to the inside in 2 and takes the 3rd spot away. He's going for second. Underneath Zierfoss to complete lap number 13. Chase Dietz is up to second. Rumsey up over the cushion. We may still get a last lap pass. Watch him down in 3 and 4. For the checkered flag, Rumsey goes in across the middle, slides up, catches the cushion and back to the line. Logan Rumsey will hold him off.
Speedway, and the Keith Kaufman Classic is green. Casey Kane with a good start down the front straightaway. Chase Dietz to the top side, trying to power around the 39M. They're side by side for the lead. They drag race down the back straightaway. Casey Kane, he has the advantage, puts a slider on Dietz. Dietz turns the car back down the hill. He'll lead lap number 1. Dietz with the advantage now. Casey Kane through the middle. Dietz, he's your race leader. Aaron Reitzel, he's positioned in that 3rd spot. Then you got Troy Wagaman and Brent Marks, your top 5. Now here comes the 1A of Cameron Smith, looking down low of Brent Marks to try to break in to the top 5. They'll drag race back to the line. Marks will hang on to the position. Smith still paddling down low on the 19 of Brent Marks. Marks, though, making it work on the top side. Now here goes Aaron Reitzel for that 2nd spot on Casey Kane. Slides up through 3 and 4. Can't make the pass. 39M holding on to that 2nd spot. Kane looking good right now. Remember, he was able to get his first World of Outlaw victory last weekend on the Friday night portion of the Spring Nationals at the Williams Grove Speedway. Never won here in a 410 at the Port Royal Speedway. Look at the change up tonight, but he has to track down Chase Dietz, as Dietz already has a very healthy 1.8 second lead. Cameron Smith and Brent Marks continue to go at it for this 5th spot. Just trading lanes once again, lap after lap. Smith has it down the back straightaway now. Cameron Smith into the top 5. It's going to start to get tricky for that Mountain Ridge Metals number 23 as the caution flag waves as we got a car sideways in front of your leaders there. Dietz able to squeak by on the top side. As Dietz will bring the field off of 4, gets back on the hammer, we get back underway. What happens in the turns number 1 and 2? Reitzel looks down low on Casey Kane, pulls to the inside. He'll complete that pass off of turn 2. Brent Marks with a good run off of 1 and 2, gets by Cameron Smith. He moves back into the top 5. Danny Dietrich right there with him as they look to go 3 wide for the 5th spot off of turn 4. Kane looking to go back under. Reitzel there, looks right through the middle. Reitzel has the momentum right now. You called it. Here comes the Myerstown missile of Brent Marks. Marks into the top 5 right now. He's going to go down low, block the slider lead on the 1A from Cameron Smith as Danny Dietrich tries to get back into a rhythm. Smith not losing any ground right there with Marks. Back down low for the 5th spot. Marks up high, tries back by. 1A Cameron Smith not letting Brent Marks go. Talked about him showing some speed as he works down low off of turn number 4. Great 3-car battle right now. Here comes Danny Dietrich. Dietrich right through the middle of these 2 cars. Marks up high. He's been good off 1 and 2. Smith's been better off 3 and 4 as they're side by side for 5th. with Cameron Smith and Brent Marks going side by side. Obviously, they are slowing their pace to where Danny Dietrich can close in as they are still side by side at the start-finish line. Marks will power his way back into fifth, but not so fast, my friend. Cameron Smith, he'll drive back by.
That's the preferred line of your top two cars. Where does Dietz go? Where does Reitzel go as they're in that now?
Yeah, Chase Dietz has to go now to get some lap traffic in between him and Aaron Reitzel as Preston Latham is right in Chase Dietz's lane. He'll hover right through the middle. Here comes a run by Aaron Reitzel off of turn number 2. Still, lap car slowing down Chase Dietz. He'll try to split him in the turns number 3, 4, and he will.
He'll get by him now. Reitzel, can he come up with an answer to keep Chase Dietz in his sights? Dietz only got one lap car in between him. Now, the lap car moving down low, leaving the lane open for Reitzel, able to keep his momentum and keep Dietz in his sights. 10 more laps to go around the Speed Palace.
Wogman looking to break in on the podium. He has caught Casey Kane for that 3rd spot. No lap cars in between them. Here comes a great run by Wogman. Looks down low at Casey Kane. Can he complete the pass as they haul the mail down the front straight away? Wogman up in the 3rd.
White flag is out. Chase Dietz, he's working the top side of turns 1 and 2. Got a quarter mile to go now to get $16,000 in the bank account.
Dietz will take the statement own number 23 into turn number 4 for the final time, and checker flag is out. Chase Dietz is going to pick up his very first Keith Kaufman Classic victory. Aaron.
Green flag waves, we are racing. Marks goes topside through 1 and 2. Up against the wall. Danny Dietrich back in the pack will do likewise. Brock Zierfoss moves by the 99M of Moody and the 48 of Dietrich. Brent Marks your leader, 3 wide off of 4. Hello. Freddie Raymer rolling early as he moves to the outside of J.J. Loss. Problems over in turn number 2. Dylan Norris is slow in the 17 car. Brent Marks going to bring him into the Rabine Service Center start zone. Here we go. J.J. Loss tries to pull the slider on Freddie Raymer. Can't make it work. Raymer holds the 2nd spot. He's up top, chasing the 19 of Brent Marks. 2 laps in the books. Marks strong. Logan Rumsey to the outside of J.J. Loss. Got him. 41 car into 3rd. He'll bring the 23 of Dietz with him. Dietz slides up the banking in 3 and 4. Catches the cushion. He will ride in that 4th position. Chase Dietz has his wheels back under him. Cameron Smith now slides the 39 of J.J. Loss. 75 car into a top 5 running position. Marks your leader off of 4. Back to the stripe. Complete lap number 13. Logan Rumsey all over Freddie Raymer getting into turn number 1. Raymer goes topside. Able to clear the 41 of Rumsey. Dietz moves around Rumsey now to the outside of Freddie Raymer. What a move from Chase Dietz. Hello. 14 scored, 16 remaining, and Chase Dietz is a man on the move. Logan Rumsey made the move around Freddie Raymer. Problems over in turn number 3. And we've got contact. Good start for Chase Dietz. Dietz going to pull the trigger on the slider. He's going to come up short. Good move there. Logan Rumsey back underneath of Freddie Raymer if you hold the 3rd spot. Danny Dietrich rolling in the 48. Dietz right with Marks. Watch him into 1. Marks taps the brake pedal, drives back around Chase Dietz. He'll hold the point. Dietz to the bottom of 3 and 4. Marks off the top, just past the halfway point. Brent Marks your leader by 13 100ths of a second. Marks up against the wall. Dietz slides up the banking, catches the cushion on exit as Brent Marks moves away. Logan Rumsey solid in 3rd. Freddie Raymer 4th. Cameron Smith 5th and holding off Danny Dietrich, but for how long? Down the back stretch into turn number 3. Chase Dietz strong off the bottom of 4. Goes to the bottom of 1 and 2. Slides the 19 car. Marks with momentum off the top side of 2. Holds the point down the back straightaway. Goes through the middle. Dietz rolling off the top. They are nose to tail at the start-finish line. Chase Dietz is there. Dietz for the top spot. Oh, up over the cushion. Maybe a little contact with the outside retaining wall. And Brent Marks able to move back by him. But off of turn number 4, Chase Dietz got him. 23 car to the front. Chase Dietz, your leader, with 7 laps remaining. Brent Marks runs 2nd. Logan Rumsey is 3rd. Dietz out front. He has now opened up 87 100ths of a second between himself and Brent Marks. And he will go back-to-back, having won last night in the Keith Kaufman Classic at Port Royal. It took him some 7 years to go and claim his 2nd victory, but now he's a winner at Baps Motor Speedway on 3 consecutive outings. Chase Dietz, your winner tonight at Baps Motor Speedway. Brent Marks runs 2nd. Logan Rumsey is 3rd.
It is Monday, May 18th, 2026. What's going on? I am Jimmy here with not Logan Rumsey's tire guy, Jay-Z. We are the Turn 2 Terribles. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. We got a great show planned for you tonight. Logan Rumsey is here. He's going to join us here in a couple minutes, getting his first 410 win and also a nice podium finish last night at BAPS. We'll talk to him for a little bit. As you saw in those highlights, there's a great weekend of racing here in Central PA. We're going to talk all about that. The 410s and the 358s. Weikert weekend is upon us. Let's go. Lots of racing this week between Grandview, Lincoln, and Port Royal. We're going to talk about all that. And everything else that's going on. Some other news and notes to talk about. Whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat. We appreciate everybody that tunes in every week live. We see you guys in the chat. Steph, Matt, Ant, Santos, Mandy, Ryan Pearson, Richard Miller. What's going on, guys? Daniel Lee says, howdy, everyone. Let's welcome in your 2024 Turn 2 Terribles Williams Grove Chili Cook-Off foot race winner, which was Logan Rumsey. I'm going to ask him, what was the bigger win, the foot race or the 410 win? I think it's closer than people think. We're going to find out. Dave Scott Spelter, what's going on, man? Yeah, excited for this one. Jay-Z, man, how are you doing tonight?
Tired, but let's get this rolling. I'm excited for tonight. Happy to be back here at our normally scheduled time. Just happy to be going, and we like having winners in here. So let's get a winner in here because we're not winners.
Yeah, we're not winners.
It's not us.
This man is. Let's bring him in. The self-proclaimed general manager of T2T, Logan Rumsey. What's going on, Logan? How are you doing?
Yep, I do run the show here.
What's up, brother? How's it going, man? How was your Monday? I mean, has it sunk in that you won a 410 race yet?
Well, I slept all day basically because we ran last night, but no, I mean, I don't know, it was really crazy. I didn't think it would happen at the Grove, and just the night went perfect, and then we backed it up with another awesome run Sunday.
Where's the trophy? Why is that not in the back right there behind you?
What trophy?
Williams Grove.
We didn't get one.
There was no trophy?
No. It was a flag and a champagne bottle.
Didn't even get a check written out? Come on, man. I mean, Tyler Murray, brother, you got to get this guy a trophy. Can go get one made for him. I think every first-time winner, if there's not a trophy, should have a trophy made. What do you think?
Sure. I got my iRacing trophy. That's about it.
Yeah, that's what made me notice it. I was like, wait a minute, where's the Williams Grove one? So let's talk about Williams Grove a little bit because kind of your 410 journey at Williams Grove has been up and down. Equipment, right? Do you have enough motor to do it? It's been tough fields. You've kind of been up and down a little bit, Williams Grove. You missed some races with some equipment stuff. So, the highs I saw last year when you guys made the National Open, right? I just happened to be near the pits when you qualified out of the heat. Your dad was so happy. But you've had some challenges at Williams Grove too. Like you said, you didn't see your first one coming at Williams Grove, but what was different with the car this weekend that you felt otherwise? Because I think we've talked to times that you didn't feel great at Williams Grove this year. I mean, what did you guys really change, or did the track just suit what you were doing?
Well, going back to last year, Hampton Automotive helped us buy that rider motor, and that allowed us to go to the Grove. And I wasn't quite sure if it was like a big enough motor to run with those guys, but it seemed like it was good enough. But the car never felt like it was like actually good. Like I never went out there in qualifying and came in and was like, I literally held it wide open. The car felt perfect, and I was still 15th. So I knew we were definitely missing something on the setup, and that kind of carried all of last year. Like I was just all right, but not like good enough to even finish top 10 or top 5 or anything. So I don't know. It was going about the same this year, or we actually didn't even have any starts at the Grove this year, or like we never ran a full feature until that race on Friday. So I knew I was up front in the handicap. So I just kind of threw something at the car, knowing that what we had wasn't gonna allow us to win. So I just threw something at it, and honestly, I got really lucky, and the car is night and day difference, and it's just rocket fast now.
So I don't think a lot of people fully understand how your team works. It's kind of you and Dad, and you may have other help, but when you say you threw something at it, I mean, is that you and Dad kind of putting your heads together? Is that you going, "Hey, I know what I felt. Let me try this." Is this all you? Like, I think most people probably overestimate how much help you have, and underestimate how much you and your dad really do with this deal.
Yeah, we have good crew guys and stuff, but me and my dad work on the setup, or well, I don't know. I just tell him what to do at the track. Basically, I try to dial it in myself, like at the shop and stuff. So I just kind of been. Well, the car is always like amazing at Lincoln, which is weird. So but then we go to Baps or the Grove, and it just kind of feels a little. I'm pretty sure I was always too tight because I was always just go in the corner and just kind of skate around. I think that was because it was too tight. So I just freed the car up a little bit, and that seemed to do the trick. But yeah, it's just me and my dad doing all the setup stuff. Basically, I get my shocks done by Colby Fry. He lives right down the road, so it's easy for me to go there and ask for help from him and stuff, and get them checked out, make sure they're ready to go every week. And the bar, our bar guy Zach Anulin, he helps us out a lot too.
I saw him at Port Royal on Saturday while we were checking in, and he missed your interview. I was like, "Dude, Logan gave you the best shout out ever, man. You need to go back and listen to that."
Hmm.
He was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Yeah, you got set up new bars on that deal." So, when you talked about, like, throwing things at it and doing this, you have a fairly limited experience in the 410 ranks, and I think at one point last year you said that your notebook got destroyed, lost. It was gone.
I'll
You
get your
didn't have
homework.
anything left. Like, yeah, the dog ate your homework kind of thing. So, like, first you had 358 experience, but where's this knowledge come from of the full size car to, like, even be close to a baseline? Did you start from your chassis manufacturer, get help from them? Like, where did the knowledge come from on a full size car to even start?
I'm not really sure. I think our first 410 race, Tyler Ross kind of told us what to do, but that was like 4 years ago. But honestly, I haven't changed much since then, up until this Friday. So I just like little stuff here and there, but I never really like the car always felt like I said the car always felt like decent, but never just like rocket fast. And I knew I was missing something, so I just bit the bullet last week and threw something at it. But yeah, my setup book, I did lose it over the winter, and so at the icebreaker, I was just guessing. We ran fourth there, so I don't like Tyler Ross told us the best setups are in your head, so I kind of go by that. I don't really keep notes.
Listen, the more I hear things like this, from drivers, and I think sometimes guys they outthink themselves.
Definitely.
And I heard this the other week. I forget who told me that, yeah, a lot of times guys will go in the pits and they'll make big changes. They'll change an entire bar. They'll make multiple things and this and that. And someone said the oh, who was that? I forget who even told. Apologies if they're listening or hear this. The best changes you can make are the smallest changes, because if you go too far, you don't know if the track changed or did we make the change and made it worse, made it better. We don't know. And if you're kind of in the ballpark, but you need little change, or they said little changes matter more than big changes. Do you agree with that to a point?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. We sometimes throw the kitchen sink at it, and I I can't really tell. It's usually not terrible unless you do something completely out of whack. So but another thing with like trying to do it yourself, if like with me, if I go to the track and the car feels junk in hot laps or like in the heat race, or we're just like kind of off all night, I don't know what to do to like really fix it. Kind of just have to try your best and just think about it for next week in the shop, But if we've been racing at Lincoln for a couple years now, and the cars felt good, so we kind of just go with the same thing every week and just tinker on it.
So, One of the big topics coming out of Friday night was handicapping, and we've talked about it. I mean, everybody that has any microphone or has any platform, this has been the argument now. I mean, I heard this argument and I sat in the stands as, a 20-something-year-old kid at Lincoln, watching Fred Raymer and these guys come from 12th and, every single week for years and years and years. When time trial shows were the exception, not the rule, right? So now it seems to have changed, and I think even my opinion has changed a little bit. And I made a post this the other day after your win. The teams that have all the speed, all the equipment, all the things, everything they need to make that ultimate 2-lap speed, don't love it. And it got to a point in Central Pennsylvania where those teams had enough resources that they could just go anywhere they wanted and stop racing those shows. That was a real big change for Central Pennsylvania when the tracks had to then adapt to try to keep those drivers around. It didn't really work because teams still left. So where do you kind of fall in this? I know the handicapping played into your benefit here greatly, but let's take the win. You didn't have the win. Where do you kind of fall on this? I mean, you're a team that you don't have the best of the best and 14 of everything. And some nights maybe it plays in your benefit. Some nights it might not. Like the next week at Williams Grove, right? You're going to be that guy now. You're going to start no better than 12th at the next one, if they ever have another one. I don't even know. But like, kind of where do you fall on this now that you've been in the 410 ranks racing against the best of the best? Like, what is your thoughts on it?
Well, I'm usually not a huge fan of the handicap, but I definitely like that one on Friday, but I probably won't like the next one as much. But I don't know. It just I definitely understand why getting rid of all or most of the handicap shows hurts the little guys, because it is really hard to go to a qualifying show and qualify with those guys up front. So yeah, that was my first time even starting up front in the handicap like that, and actually capitalizing on it. So I definitely get where people are coming from with that, because it definitely gives a small guy a shot, and if they can get out there and take the lead like I did, it gives them a shot to win. So but with our team, I don't really want to be a handicap racer. I want to be able to go to the qualifying shows and set quick time, and like Dietz does every week, and run up there with them no matter what.
So as you're running this race Friday night, obviously, we're in sprint car country here. We don't have, guys that can tell you how far you're ahead or not ahead or whatever. Did you have any indications at all that you were as far out as you were? And did you have any clue that Dietz was in second and when he got to second?
Uh, yeah, with like 10 to go, I couldn't believe no one was past me yet, because I definitely knew riding behind James Orzelli for the whole race definitely wasn't the best thing I could have been doing. So but I don't know, he must have really picked up the pace once I got to him, because I caught him quick and then I couldn't pass him. So good job to him for picking up the pace there. It didn't really help me, but it was good for him. But yeah, I had no clue I had a 7-second lead. So I guess if I didn't have a 7-second lead, I definitely would have got past there. But yeah, that was my first time really running it or leading a race in lap traffic, so it was hard to know exactly what to do, but I was just out there trying my best.
I'll say this, in my history of watching this, guys lose more of those races than they actually finish them off, because you have to lose a couple sometimes and learn the lesson before you end up, doing that. And I've seen that many, many times. So like when you got the lap traffic and you see you really didn't know what to do, did you get even more nervous knowing your pace slowed up that much with that dirty air? I mean, were you just waiting for somebody to slide you?
Yeah, I wasn't really even nervous, because I knew someone was probably going to pass me, but I just kept going. No one's passing me. So then I did start to get a little nervous at the end. But yeah, but watching the replay back, I definitely can see how I should have got through the lap cars a little bit better, and then Chase would have probably not even been close to me. So that's good, just to watch the replay and know what to do for next time, and try not to make it as close.
And I think, you're a student of the game. You obviously have watched a lot of this. those are the nights where you almost make that bold, daring pass in the middle of a 3 wide, or you got to cut it close sometimes to get clear of that car because you're better, but you can't get stuck there, right? It seemed to be that kind of night, like where Roselli was pretty fast. You almost have to force your hand and say, hey, I got to go, right? Like, while he wasn't holding you up per se, he kind of was, because 7 seconds disappeared in 5 laps. But the one thing I did want to ask, and we'll get to, there was a lot of fan questions that came through. You're a pretty quiet guy. You kind of stay to yourself, even if, like, we've talked in the pits, we've talked, and just you and I, and you just don't, you're not a man of many words, but you quietly have a sense of humor. The kind of subtle dig at Dirt Tracker, the general manager of T2T, like, you're a young guy that, I think it's like this sarcastic humor thing. Have you always been that way? Or is this something that you're kind of coming out of your shell a little bit and yeah, hey, here I am. And even on the broadcast last night, you're chirping Brock a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, but what is your personality? Well, who is Logan Rumsey?
I don't know. Just probably, I guess, a troll. I guess. When I'm the people I play iRacing with, they usually get mad at me because I just start rambling on about random stuff when we're racing on there. But it's just really stupid stuff also. So I don't know. I find really dumb stuff funny, and about the Dirt Tracker stuff. I just didn't really appreciate what they said. I didn't know the rules, so I tried to get back at him a little bit. And my response was stupid enough to where he didn't even know if I was mad at him or not. So it's kind of funny.
You took offense to it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching the show, he said. So, Jimmy,
Yeah.
what kind of fan questions did we come up with here while we were going?
We got quite a few, actually. Let's go back here. Dakota Coon wants to see the Magic Cartoon Rig. Are you at it right now?
What?
The Magic
What's that?
Cartoon Rig.
Yeah, I'm at it right now.
Matt Bird wants.
Are you by a bunk bed? Is that a bunk bed? Is
Oh,
that a
yeah,
top bunk
my
bed?
room's a little small. My bed's above my iRacing rig here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you pick? Matt Bird wants to know, how did you pick your car number?
It was my dad had no, I don't even really know. I'm pretty sure I do know, but it was just, I forget when it was, but there was this racing game on my phone. It was like a 2D sprint car game, and I thought the number looked pretty cool. I'm being serious too.
That's
I don't even know what the game was called, but it was really fun. I just thought 41 looked cool. that was when I was 8.
So, and it's stuck with you ever since.
Yep.
Santos wants to know, do you have any merch this year?
Not any new merch. We're getting some soon though.
Okay. Keep an eye out for that. Mandy has a few questions. Favorite and least favorite track to race at? Start with that one.
Oh, I think Lincoln is definitely the best track in Pennsylvania for actual racing, and because you can just move around, and if you're stuck behind someone, you can usually run the bottom and stuff to actually pass. A lot of the tracks recently in the last couple of years have just been one lane or on the top wide open. So it's not really, it's not bad for the fans when it's like that, but it's definitely terrible for the drivers because you just can't really go anywhere. But I will say BAPS last night was probably the best it's been in a while, but it's probably also because I was up front, and if I was running 12th, I probably would have said it sucked again. But I hate Sealands Grove. I have no intentions of going there ever.
Why?
Because it's just wide. There's nothing to it. You just hold it wide open and go around. There's nothing to it.
Surface this year has been a little bit different. It was pretty racy this year so far. So
Rumsey's a short track guy. You can tell.
Yeah.
He's
for
a
sure.
short track guy, and that's okay. I'm here for it. I agree with you on the Lincoln thing. I think it's more often than not, it is the raciest racetrack around here. And I think it's just the small track thing. Everybody, you don't really get away from each other. You're always around someone.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your favorite concession stand food?
This could
Oh,
be
the
anywhere. You've traveled some.
I don't even know. It probably is like the chicken tenders at the Lincoln concession stand in the pits. They're pretty good.
Chicken tendies.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather win another T2T foot race or another iRacing trophy? And my question is, was the T2T foot race your biggest Williams Grove win over the 410 win?
The win on the track was definitely a lot harder because I didn't have to try that hard for the foot race. But I wish they would do that again for something. Maybe for the National Open, do that for the dash or something.
The foot race?
Yeah,
That's a good idea. Kind of like how they do at Oski.
yeah.
The
Or
front row challenge, how they do-
some kind of Williams Grove race they should do it for.
That would be pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
James Magby says, Dirt Track and 2, was that the game on your phone?
No, it was like a 2D game. Like you just like looked at the car on the top and it went around a track. I have no clue what it was called.
Billy Dietrich says, so many options for Monday Night Crazy. He says, all these kids only eat chicken tenders. What the hell?
Yep. Chicken tenders and pizza. That's about it.
Wait,
I'm
what's your
almost
favorite kind of
40, and that's my diet. So whatever.
chocolate milk. What's your favorite kind of pizza?
Pepperoni.
All right.
Okay.
Which
Jack
track
Young's-
has the best pizza?
Ooh, this is a good debate.
Because I got my answer.
Pizza.
And
The pizza at the Grove is definitely pretty good.
That's
But
right. Agreed.
yeah, but like the pizza at Eldora is also really good if you go out there.
Jimmy, you
But
got to
I
come
think
back
that-
review.
I think
that
that's
out.
like frozen pizza though. But I think the Grove they actually make it fresh. So
They do. They have a
Good for
pizza
them.
oven and everything. I think that's why it's good.
I'm not a huge like pizza connoisseur. Like I'll eat pizza, but it's all just pizza to me. But I got on this Williams Grove pizza thing like I think last year finally for the first time in my life had it. And it's one of the very few times I will like, and I don't even have it every week, but I will like go seek it out and be like, hey, I want a piece of pepperoni pizza. Like that's rare for me to like go order that over anything else. That Williams Grove pizza is pretty damn good.
Yeah, it is. Ryan Smith wants to know, who is your favorite Brett Marks Sim Team member to right rear on iRacing?
all of them. I don't really care. If they're in the way, they're getting.
You might not have a favorite one, but the only one that you've done it to is me.
Yeah, you'll have it. You'll have.
You're
that
the
on
first
big
person
jobs.
I admin these races, and I don't have to end of line penalize many people, but I've had to do it to you twice in one night. So just you hold that
Yeah.
record.
I wrecked Aiden Hare, Jude Siegel, Jeremy twice, Trevor Royer, and Jack in the same heat race.
It's a
And then
menace.
ballparked
It's a
it. Then
menace that
ballparked it in
night.
the future.
Jensen says you really like Rudder's pizza.
Oh yeah, the Rutter's frozen pizza. I think it's the Nardone Bros. That's really.
Ooh,
I get that multiple times a week.
Really?
Nardone's pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Gas station
I do.
pizza. Okay.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like $5.99. It's a good deal too.
So what does the rest of your year look like? I know you guys kind of play it week by week. You know, you guys are mostly Lincoln, Williams Grove, and been running BAPs. But what does the rest of your year look like? Do you have like any races circled that maybe might be out of the ordinary or anything like that?
I'm not really sure. I kind of just go. I don't even know what the schedule looks like. I kind of just run wherever we're racing next week. So but I know we're racing Grandview tomorrow. I'm kind of excited for that. Oh, I'm really excited now because I
have
feel
you
like,
been there
feel like we
before?
have. No, I've never
Have
been
you ran
there.
Grandview?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
But we have our car working a lot better than it used to be. So I'm excited and I think we should be all right.
You have to
Shorter
drink
track,
your
too.
waters. It's gonna be hot. Stay hydrated.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be
It's gonna
fucking
be
hot.
it's gonna
Holy
rubber
crap.
up in hot laps.
No. They'll do at this point that place might
They'll
do track
rework that
prep
track
after every
lap.
time trialer.
Yeah.
Every car they'll do a pass. Like they might have
I
to
was-
rework the track after every car.
I'll give them credit though. They got that rework down to a science where it takes like 10 minutes, and they reworked that whole damn thing.
Yeah,
So
they've had lots of practice.
yeah.
Yeah.
How
Um,
Baps last night? Well, Billy makes a good point. I mean, podium last night. You were coming through. I mean, I think Chase even said that you showed him the bottom early on. That's what got him kind of up front. You were battling up there with Brent and all that. So, how was your night at Baps last night?
Yeah, it was great. Kind of got lucky with my heat race group. It wasn't as good as the first group, which is something they need to fix because this shouldn't be happening. But yeah, I kind of really messed up in qualifying, but because I was trying to run the bottom in 3 and 4, and I was kind of just I'm not really sure what happened, but I really messed it up. But I still 1 second quick somehow, and that put me on the pole of the heat race. And almost got ran into the infield wall by Zierfoss, but we recovered from that and got out to the lead in the heat race. And just the car felt great around the bottom. And that was my first heat race win at BAPS. And then we redrew the 5 for the feature, got an awesome start, and just riding around in third. Found the bottom in 3 and 4, and got up to Freddie for second. That's kind of where I made a big mistake, and I tried to slide him, and it didn't really work out too good. Chase drove around us both. So then I just rolled around in third for the rest of the race. But it was I definitely had a shot to win. I think if the race would have went a little bit different, which is pretty crazy because I usually suck at BAPS. Like Jeremy told me, I'm not sure when he said that, but he said I suck at BAPS. So glad I have it figured out now.
It'll be totally different next time you go.
Yeah, I'll probably suck again.
With that heat race start, do you think Brock was just trying to get to some moisture that you were in and trying to run you down the track, or trying to push you down into slimy stuff? Like, what do you think was the deal there?
Well, yeah, the top was marbled up a lot. So if you get stuck out there on the start, it's definitely not good. But anyone that does that on starts is a terrible person because that's just not they're just stupid.
This is great
no
tonight.
need to do that.
The greatest part about this is you don't know this, but Jimmy loves Williams Grove and he loves Brock Zierfoss, and you shit on both of them in 10 minutes.
It's fine. I'm here for it. It's fine. It's fine.
They deserve it.
So if there's a race, that you want to win, that you look at, what race do you want to win? Anywhere, any car, anything. What do you want to win?
Well, since I was pretty close to, I think I would have had a better shot if they didn't take my tires at Lincoln last Tuesday. I think I actually did have a shot to win that race. But so I think next year the Gettysburg Clash, I would like to win that one.
Okay, that's a good
one. That Lincoln win is coming. I think in the 358 division, that was always a hard deal, right? Because it was hard to pass in that division. You always had a really good car, but it was just hard to get up there and pass. And you got to win pretty quick, but it was just hard to do. So, not that it's any easier in these 410s, but what do you got to have a lot go right in these races. And Lincoln is 30 laps at minimum. So, what do you think you've learned in these early days at Lincoln? You're good there, but what do you think you need to do in these races that can decide the winner or loss at the end of these things? Has there been a trend that you've seen, or you just kind of go with whatever you think is best?
I feel like, I don't know. You obviously just want to get out front and try to run away with it, but also the guy in second usually ends up winning because they can find the bottom first. So I feel like I've gotten way better at that since last summer. I used to kind of around this time last year, I used to be pretty fast up on the top, and I would just stay up there and just never move down. And I could be running fifth or something, and then they would start blowing by me on the bottom. So I learned a lot from doing that a couple times and falling back multiple spots at the end. So now I feel like I'm usually down there first, trying to find it before anyone else now. So that's definitely what you got to do there. And I feel like that outlaw race kind of played out the same way. I think Gravel was leading and Buddy drove by him on the bottom, I'm pretty sure. So that's how you got to do it there.
So that's always a tough thing for me, as if you're the leader, you're catching up traffic, and they're all running the bottom, right? And you're faster, but you don't want to just ride behind them. So how do you make that decision? Is it like, I, how are you going to pass them? And does it slow up enough that the guy in second now has the advantage and rips the top past you? Like, how do you decide what you should do?
Uh, as long as the track isn't like rubbered up and super one line, I feel like kind of what Chase was doing last night. You kind of just gotta go to the line they're not and just run it as hard as you possibly can and just try to make it work, you know. So definitely don't want to follow them. That's definitely not the right thing to do.
No doubt. So you've been at this 410 thing. We had you on here before, 2 years ago, maybe, I think early
It's
on,
like 3 years
but
ago. I don't know.
I say it was 2 or 3. A driver you like racing with and someone you don't.
I think we know who he does.
Oh,
No, he told
last
me
night.
someone else the other day, and he said about someone in Discord the other night, and I missed who the name was. He called them a name, but I don't want to say the name of
I forget too.
the adjective. I don't want to say what the description of the person was, but I didn't even hear who it was either.
I don't remember what I said either. But racing with Chase Dietz always leaves you a lane, and like he did last night, he threw a slider on me and left the lane. So because he's not trying to wreck his stuff either, so he's not going to wreck yours. So and it's also it's cool to even be racing with him. So I think I passed him 3 times this year earlier in the race, and he's drove back around me all 3 times to win the race. So hopefully I can keep it in front of him one of these times and win myself. So but the worst driver, I'm not really. It's got to be between
Listen,
let me think about it for a second.
and this doesn't have to make you enemies, by the way. This can be somebody who's just hard to pass too. It doesn't
I need
have
to
to
look
be
at the
somebody you
results
actually
from
dislike.
last night.
Yeah, who pissed you off last night other than
So
Brock?
a name will pop up into his head and go, "Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know that ain't."
Hmm.
What was it like racing against like the Outlaws, these Invader guys? I mean, are they as aggressive as everybody kind of says nationally, and when they come in here, no matter what they do, or do you feel that and see that when you're racing them?
Uh, Go back to the other question. I got my answer.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's definitely Cody Hartlob. He just drives it way too hard for me.
He drives hard.
I don't like running it that hard. I'm just out there trying to drive my car out. He's too hard for me.
Fair enough. So back to my question. Do you notice a difference racing with guys on tour? Not just that their cars might be good, but do you sense and feel that aggressiveness that we hear and see?
Uh, I don't really know because I was starting second in that feature and I really wasn't nervous at all. So, which is kind of weird, but I don't know. I think I was just having such a good night that night. I knew the car was really fast, so I really wasn't getting nervous because I knew I had a really big opportunity there. But honestly, I feel like when I show up to races like that, a lot of pressure's off because I know I'm not really expecting to do anything too spectacular. But on a regular night, I'm I'm kind of mad if I don't leave with like a top 5 or something. So I think it takes a lot of pressure off racing with those guys.
Was it kind of a surreal moment, like having a slider battle with Carson Macedo? Was that kind of like, holy shit, I'm doing this right now? Was it kind of that moment for you? Like, I know certainly sitting in the seat at that moment, you're like, I just got to like go. But afterwards, were you like, holy shit, I was just having a slider battle with Carson Macedo?
Not really at all. I was just trying not to throw the anchor in, you know. And after the first 2 laps, it kind of felt like I was, and then I got rolling there in 4th, and I fell back to 5th or something, and I was just telling myself I can't keep falling back because that would just suck to throw the anchor in after having such a good night. So honestly, not really at all. I was just out there trying to just keep going forward and not go any farther back.
So you don't. I mean, you're a young guy. You know, you've raced in some pretty big events, but you don't have that moment where you're like, "Holy shit, I'm racing against the best in the world."
No, not at all, really.
That's right. That's what they say about you, though. They get out and go, "Holy shit, I just raced
Holy
with Logan
shit.
Rumsey."
Oh
That's the
yeah,
iRacing champion right there. I just passed. That's what David Gravel said.
Exactly.
I
Like,
don't think they care.
holy shit, did you see that 41 car out there? I know that guy. He's on iRacing. Jimmy, what do you got, man? We'll get him out of here.
Got a couple quick fan questions. Richard Miller asks, "Do you have any advice for a 358 driver coming into 410s?"
Uh, I think I don't know. I personally think the 410s are almost easier to drive than the 358s because you're not just wide open the whole time. I mean, you are eventually, but you can really work with the throttle a lot more. So but the thing is, you got to drive it hard, or else the car ain't gonna do what it needs to do. And if you get scared of it and go in there and lift out of the throttle a bunch, it's just not gonna be a good time. So you just gotta bite the bullet and drive it in there hard, and I think it'll stick.
Give the old balls a tug, basically.
Yep.
Ryan Good asks a question: "Will you be running the Weikert this weekend? And how about the weekend after this one at the Grove and the Lincoln Fallen Heroes race on the 30th?"
Yeah, we're not running the Weikert just because I don't have any laps with the 410 other than one race, which I wasn't very good at last year. So this wouldn't really make much sense to go up there. Even though I could be all right, but it just doesn't really make much sense for us. We only have one motor right now and stuff. So but yeah, we'll be back for next Friday and Saturday at the Grove in Lincoln.
Awesome.
Are you planning on running Lincoln Wednesday after Grandview?
No, I mean I don't really want to because it's gonna be a long night after Grandview.
Yeah, that's
So,
a haul.
That's
I
a
don't know.
topic. You know, I know that's been a hot topic this week. A lot of people talked about it, and I think Jeremy Elliott's live right now, and that was a topic that came up. And when I saw this race on the schedule at the beginning of the year, I was kind of excited. Midweek stuff. Lincoln's always done pretty well with them. But as we're like approaching it and where it's sandwiched into weeks, I get why they scheduled it, but I kind of hate it. I think they're going to struggle to see 20 cars in the 410 ranks. I mean, what are your thoughts there? I mean, have you thought about that at all? I know you're kind of like eye on the prize on Tuesday, and it's been a long weekend, but I mean, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's definitely not the best time for a midweek show, especially because if they're trying to get any high limit guys to show up, they're not really going to care about running Lincoln on a Wednesday when they have all their stuff ready for Port Royal for 100,000. So I don't know. I like the midweek shows, but having it right after a 3-day weekend and then a race on Tuesday and then the biggest race of the year on the weekend probably isn't the best thing ever.
It's practically a speed week right now. When you
Yeah,
think about it.
we've raced a
mini
lot.
speed week. Yeah.
It's crazy. We're in May going, holy crap, we've raced a lot. What are we not going to go to? Like, we went from like, hopefully we get this show or two into holy shit. We've now raced, 6 times in 8 days or something. So, but anyway, Logan, Jimmy, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, one more here. I know there's a couple more. Adam Buchanan, voice of the Empire Super Sprints, says, "Question for the bunk bed bullet." That might be your new nickname. What track on the sim is the most like real life, which is way off?
I think Lincoln's pretty realistic. I mean, I don't see. I mean, it gets up on the wall in real life, and you can run the bottom in real life. So I don't see how it can be. What's different about it? Like the Grove never gets like that in real life, so you can't really say it's even close to being realistic. And any other track really just gets right up on the fence, and it never does in real life. So Lincoln's I think the elevation stuff on iRacing is like really similar to how it is in real life.
I think Port Royal races really similar, except that the iRacing can't seem to figure out the physics of the cushion buildup on the walls with the tracks with the guardrail fences like Knoxville and Port. They become so like a supercross dirt track, but I think they get that one pretty close. From what we watch, I think.
Yeah, if you were having a race when you couldn't run if you were just running like 3/4 of the track and not the top, it probably is pretty realistic. But the top quarter of the track, it gets a little wild up there.
It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, figure it out already.
2 more quick questions from Brandon Zirk, and then we'll get you out of here. He asked, what was your favorite sprint car driver to watch before you became a racer?
I'm not even.
Was it Brady
definitely
Bacon? I know you guys are best friends.
No, I didn't even know who that was, honestly. I liked watching back in like 2018 before I got into sprint cars. I loved watching the Swindell 39 go around the track with whatever driver they had in it. It kind of just always looked like it was just working so good and just drove around there amazing. I think like Spencer Baston won in it one night at Lincoln. That was a lot of fun to watch. But now I'm a big Aaron Reutzel fan now. Like I'm going tomorrow and buying a shirt and then wearing it to the drivers meeting tomorrow because I'm such a big fan.
I love it. As he's wearing a David Gravel shirt too.
Yep.
And then he has one more question. Any superstitions or lucky charms that you have or believe in?
I kind of have a new one every week whenever we do something and we run good. I like try to do it again the next week. It's like I don't even know. I kind of forgot what it was, but
So you don't have one?
Well, I do, but I forget what they are, honestly. It's just like little stuff that just blows past my head. But I'm like, we did this last week, but so got to do it again. It's like no, I actually do have one. Every time I clean my helmet before the track, it's not a good night. I usually like to just go to the track with my helmet still dirty from last week and clean it at the track. And it usually turns out better for some reason.
So he didn't have a favorite growing up there because his dad answered that one. Do you see that?
Who
He
was
said
it?
you were busy doing other. He said you were busy.
He was in the sandbox.
You were in the sandbox.
Never watched the races.
Oh, me and the tire guy on Chase Dietz's car, Isaac, we used to race around the sandbox at Lincoln all the time. There was other people too, but I remember him from there.
Well, I probably like hip checked one of you little assholes when I was running around the infield getting drunk.
Oh
probably.
Yeah, people got injured for sure.
Goddamn kids running around the sandbox by the shitters.
All right. One more before we let you go and thank some sponsors and people. Jack Young asks, who would you race for in your future? Tim Cheese Motorsports or John Pork Racing? What the hell does that mean?
Wait, what? Who was it?
Jack Young.
Jack. Dude, the brain rot the other night in that Discord.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I would rather run the Chud the Builder number 5 car.
Oh my God.
All right.
Thank
you so much for joining us. Congratulations on your win and a great weekend. We know you're going to have a lot more success in the future. Let everybody know, sponsors, who helps you get to the track, who's been helping you out, all that good jazz.
Just gotta thank all of our crew guys that come and help work on the car every week. My friend Colby, we have the maintenance pretty dialed in at the shop. We can maintenance the car in a couple hours, so he's definitely a lot of help. He works a lot too, and still finds time to come work on the car. And my dad for everything he does. We're just trying to make it happen here with whatever we have, and yeah, it's about it.
Well, General Manager of T2T, Logan Rumsey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Good luck tomorrow at Grandview, and we'll see you at the track, hopefully in Victory Lane here soon.
Yep.
See you, buddy. Thanks for coming.
Did I do better than I did last time?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
100%.
A little bit better.
Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Yep.
Logan Rumsey, everybody. That was fun. That was he's a riot. Yeah, congratulations to him. We've been talking about him getting in the victory lane and here soon, and he did it. Look at that. Made us look kind of smart for once.
So finally, predictions came true.
Real quick before we get into results, we got a lot of stuff to go over here. We're going to kind of try to keep it moving and go through. We're just talking about the Fallen First Responders race with the Silent Salute Foundation. They are looking for lap sponsors. We are happy to say the 358 feature, all laps have been sold out, and the 410s are about halfway sold out. We also bought a lap, so if you would want to support this race, $150 a lap for the 410s. If you have a business or whatever, could be whatever. Reach out to the Silent Salute Foundation. You can reach out to us, Don Livingston, Lincoln, whatever. We'll get you in contact. Really, it's to find people over at the Silent Salute Foundation that are doing the laps. That's who you'd want to get in contact with. You can go find their page on Facebook. But yeah, get in there soon. I would not be surprised by the end of the weekend if this was not sold out as well. So awesome to see. We'll talk about that a little bit more later, but let's get to Logan Rumsey's win on Friday night at Williams Grove, where he got the win over Chase Dietz, Brock Zierfoss, Freddie Raymer, Troy Wagaman, who was your hard charger, Cam Smith, Danny Dietrich, Chad Trout, Dylan Norris, and Lance DeWeese. Your heat race winners were Logan Rumsey, Chad Trout, and Jude Siegel. Like I said, Troy Wagaman, 17th to 5th, having to really charge up there. Kind of points race a little bit, he said. Got a great top 5 finish out of that. Logan just kind of got out there, had a huge lead. Chase Dietz did make it interesting at the end once he got around a couple of these guys to get himself into second and made it interesting at the end, but didn't have quite enough time to get there.
I took the night off, got to watch this one, and of course, this will be a first time winner kind of thing, and a guy like Logan that we know well. So I was pissed. I was rooting for him, but I'm like, okay, he can win a different night. Dietz win this one, and Logan can win when I'm there. But I was like, that's awesome. It was so cool. I was worried though. I gotta be honest. Like with 5 to go, and they're clean. Like it was nobody between those two, and I'm like, oh no, like here we go. And he did everything right, made the right guesses at the right time. Worked out. The other thing I wish, if the race for the lead didn't kind of get this close, I wish they were watching Troy, because with only a few to go, he was in like 9th or something,
Yeah.
and like it
Back
got
after
to the end,
top
and he
10.
ended up with a top 5, and I'm like, how the hell? Where did this happen? So I talked to him up at Port Royal a little bit, and he said that he was running in 5th, and it was multiple seconds to 4th. Like it was a whole group of cars. He got by all of those, but it was going to have to take a yellow for him to get to the next, to Freddie and Brock. But he said that it was just a gaggle of cars there, and it was able to get by them. And he said at the end there, Troy was running faster lap times at the end of the race than Chase was in the same lap. So he was like, damn, a yellow. I don't know what I could have done.
Yeah, who knows
right.
what
So,
happened,
I mean,
yeah.
who knows, but he was really, really good late. Probably, listen, I think he contends for the win here if he's just a few spots ahead of this, a few laps sooner, because these are the nights that, like I said, this handicapping deal, these are the nights that I watched growing up, the best of the best guys figuring out how to get to the front first, the fastest car to the front first. And this night, it would have been Chase, right? Now, Logan wins, but this would have been a night where, if Troy's the point leader, he started, 17th. He didn't even make the invert or the handicap there, the redraw or whatever they call it. I don't even know. But like he starts 12th. Does he win this race? I don't know, right?
don't
It's
know.
all, but that's the ifs, right? And these are the nights where you got to do everything you can to start as far up as you can in these nights. And he started 10th in his heat and only made a few spots up to start 17th. So, this handicapping, man, it's entertaining. As a fan, it is entertaining. Even though Logan
Yeah.
Rumsey basically took the lead and led every lap, you can't tell me you weren't entertained by this race. You can't.
Mhm.
And
No, it
I'm
was
very appreciative, and I'm super appreciative that Chase Dietz, Brock Zierfoss, Freddie Raymer, Danny Dietrich, Lance Deweese, like I mean, I know Troy would be there, but I'm appreciative that all those guys were here to run. Now they were going to probably be in town because they're going to run Port Saturday, but some of these guys are the guys that ended up traveling and not wanting to run these handicap shows. So I'm super appreciative of a fan that they were here, and I hope that they continue to come back for these, even when they know they're not going to maybe have a great starting spot, because this was a good show.
Yeah. JJ Loss got around in turns 3 and 4. TJ Stutz came barreling in, hit him pretty hard. Glad to see that he was okay. That was a pretty hard hit. That was really the only wreck I think of the entire feature. Um, there was a couple other DNFs, some guys pulling off and everything, but that was a pretty hard hit for TJ Stutz. Just kind of nowhere to go once JJ got looped around in 3 and 4. But yeah, no, it was a good race. It wasn't bad. Logan really just got out there to a big lead. Chase Dietz had to really battle with a couple of these guys up front, and they put on a good show. Looking at the 410 points, Troy Wagaman, I think he extends his points lead a little bit. He has now 260 points up on Freddie Raymer, 265 points on Lance DeWeese, and it's Cam Smith, Danny Dietrich, Dylan Norris, Chase Dietz, Brent Shearer, Justin Whittle, and Brock Zierfoss, your top 10. 358 feature, Cody Fletcher, man. I mean, come on. Just dude is outrageous right now. Getting the win over Adam Carberry, Justin Foster, Austin Reed, Matt Finley, Derek Locke, Cole Young, Chase Gutshaw, Hunter Fulton, and Steve Owings, your top 10. Heat race winners were Carberry, Austin Reed, and Chase Hendershot, and your hard charger was Braden Mickley, who finishes 11th from 20th. Yeah, Cody, great. He's just on one, and we'll talk about him in a little bit when we talk about Baps too. But I thought last night too when we were talking about Baps, like, how many times have we come on showing money? We're like, Chase Dietz won the 410. Cody Fletcher won the 350, and I thought we were going to get it last night, and we almost had it again on Friday night with Williams Grove. Like, these are just the two cream of the crop right now in this area of their divisions, and Cody's just been, maybe not the fastest car necessarily every night, but I mean, he had to come from 8th place here to go win this one, and just puts himself in position time and time and time again, and I would say probably more times than not, he is the fastest car on the track.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him really not be this year. One of the fastest car, maybe except one night, not be the fastest car on the racetrack. Doesn't mean he won every race, almost, but yeah, that thing is just hooked up, and they got a motor under it, and he knows what he wants, and it's working. So, and I think Cody's developed a lot. I mean, I remember when he first started at 358s and went to the 410s, and kind of got out of that, and he went back to the 358s. And he's taken some time to develop. He didn't start racing at a super young age. So, man, he's just on it right now. And I would love if someday he got a chance to get back in a 410 to see how it would go, right? And develop and see. I don't know if that's in the cards, if he even wants to, if they can do. Nothing we've ever really talked about, but I would like to see that. I would like to see if that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would go, but Justin Foster was good in this one, led early. Took over the lead early from Will McNeil. Will led at the very beginning of this deal. Justin got by, and that's a new ride for Justin Foster this year, that 23M. So new ride, new owner. So it was good. I'm sure he felt good to get out there and lead some laps. And, that car's fast enough. And Adam Carberry, right, good to see him back at after that Lincoln wreck a few weeks back. I think he wrote on his socials, kind of a new setup, kind of a new deal, new car maybe. Said he was kind of feeling that out a little bit. And Austin Reed, man, quietly sneaky.
Yeah.
He's good at Williams Grove. He's going to get one. Austin Reed's going to get one of these. This is a guy that I think, we've had him on the show. He has previous 410, 358 experience, but it had been a while. He's running 305s for quite some time, just kind of getting back into the faster car stuff. He's going to get a Williams Grove win. They're going to knock one out at some point here. So the other name that stands out to me that we'll quickly mention is PJ Ruderman. That if anybody is a racing fan, you know that name. Apparently this, and if I have this wrong, forgive me, it's not like I did the research. We're not real journalists here. So, David Rudiman, former NASCAR driver, dirt guy, it's his nephew. And they bought a 358. They have a 360, I guess. We're running maybe in the South a little bit. But they bought a 358, going to run up here this summer, and who knows where that goes. But ran Williams Grove here, and he was at Lincoln or at BAPS last night. Young guy, kind of getting his start. Probably a name we'll keep an eye on here. I would think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know a lot about the history, but look, it's a name that is a name in the motorsports world. Probably worth watching. Brock Hamaker, talked to him. Didn't have a great night. Stepped on it a little bit, learned some lessons, and we'll talk about him here in a few minutes, I'm sure. But there's some, again, we've talked about it for a couple of years, guys that move up, and then look, we weren't sure how this year would go, right? We talked about it. This is as wide open as it's been. Cody's dominating it, but there's some
Mhm.
really, really good, young, talented, and veteran guys in this division. And I don't think Cody takes it for granted at all when he wins one of these. You can tell.
Oh,
He
yeah.
knows he's lost more than he'll ever win. So I know that he doesn't take this for granted when he gets these wins.
Yeah, just starting to see more and more names. Like, there's a couple names here that I don't know if I've really maybe have only seen one or twice with 358s, which is I think a good side for the division because car counts this year have a hard time. They're hovering around like 22 to 24 most nights. But there's a lot of different names. So like if you could just get them all together, it's kind of like how like we were talking about the wingless sportsman too, or the sportsman too. It's like if you had them all together, you would have probably 40 of them, you know what I mean? But just doesn't seem like they all get to the same place at the same time. But um, it's good to see more new names, fresh names get into this division and get out there because that's what this division's for. Looking at the points, Cody Fletcher and Derek Locke are tied for the points lead after this one. And we're going to talk about them because they were the show on BAPS as well. Chase Gutschall is third, Matt Finley, Austin Reed, your top five, Cole Young, Brett Warner, Justin Foster, Hunter Fulton, and Steve Wilbur, your top 10. Anything else from Williams Grove before we move on?
Good job,
Port
Williams
Royal.
Grove. Good week.
Yeah. Port Royal Saturday night Posse Series race. This turned into a damn high limit race, basically. 47 410s. Great sign, you would hope, for what's to come this upcoming weekend. Chase Dietz wins this one over Aaron Reitzel. Troy Wagaman with a podium finish. Casey Kane, Brent Marks, Cam Smith in the 1A. Danny Dietrich, Ryan Smith, Kerry Metzen, and Dason Pursley, your top 10. Your overall quick time was Aaron Reitzel. Heat race winners were Dietz, Cam Smith, Danny Dietrich, and Kerry Metzen. And your hard charger from 17th to 8th was Ryan Smith. Chase Dietz was just really, really good in this one. Aaron Reitzel was very good. He was all right on his tail, but could never get quite good enough. Those two guys were just ripping the top. Good battles between Troy, Brent, Cam Smith, Casey Kane there around that top 5 area. Great run for Troy. Really fun race overall. Very rare do we get disappointed when we leave Port Royal, especially after such a great night of racing, such a great car count. A night where a guy like, look outside of the top 10, still some great cars there. Justin Whittle, Brock Zierfuss, Giovanni Scelzi, Lance Deweese, Logan Wagner. Just the competition was really, really fierce. And Chase Dietz, man, though, he's just on one.
Like you said it great. And this was one of the least exciting races I've seen at Port Royal, but not in a bad way. Like Chase kicked their ass kind of way.
Right.
And
He
that
stunk up the
car was flawless. I mean, you beat Aaron Reitzel heads up through lap traffic and you were never really threatened. You got something rolling because Aaron Reitzel's right now is as hot as it gets in the country anywhere.
Yeah.
And with Chase doing what he did there, it's like this holy shit. And listen, we've seen it last week when the Outlaws were in town. He was up front. He almost won Williams Grove. He does this here. Last night at BAPS. Like Chase Dietz right now, it has to be in the conversation as one of the top drivers in the entire country
Oh, for sure.
against anyone on an evil level playing field. I don't care about that he's raced here, but he's beating guys that are coming in here that have won here and going and getting that and racing against the best of the best and showing out. So Chase Dietz needs to be in that conversation as the top 5 drivers in the country right now. Doesn't matter level of competition because he's going out and doing these kind of things. When you have Kerry Madsen, Ryan Smith, Justin Whitall, Brock Zierfoss, Gio Scelzi, Lance Deweese, Logan Wagner battling in the middle of this field, it tells you something about this field and what this was. Like, again, one of the least exciting best races I've seen in a long time. That battle between Brent Marks and Cam Smith was lap after lap after lap after lap. And we were down in like 1 and 2 area, couldn't even see 3 and 4. Watching the highlights there, it was just as good down on that end as it was on our end.
Yep.
So the least exciting, fun person to watch in this race was Troy Wagaman. He ran the middle of the racetrack in 1 and 2 every lap. And I'm telling you what, I told him, I said, dude, I barely got any pictures of you because your car was straight the entire time. There was nothing I have thousands of pictures of your car going in a straight line. Your car went a straight line in a straightaway and in a corner. And it just rolled around there. And he just picked a couple cars off at a time, ends up with a podium. And passing cars that have won races everywhere. It was just unbelievable to kind of watch. And I'm like, Troy, that was the least exciting 3rd place finish I've ever seen anyone do. Like no, and that's not a bad thing. I'm just like, that worked and your car was working where most other people were on the very bottom or the very top. And it was just right through the middle, just as steady as could be. And like, I don't know what this weekend's going to bring, but you got to think the names you're going to have to be watching. The 2 that stand out to me is Aaron Reichl and Chase Dietz, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
And no, that is not a knock on any. There's guys up and down this field that I could absolutely see contending for top 5s and really good finishes coming up or wins this weekend. But I mean, these 2 right now are just head and shoulders above almost anyone in the country, and I don't know who beats them. We're going to talk about that, but. Yep. Port Royal, it was great to be back. I made a post about that. What a facility. Every time I go there, I'm just like, it hasn't not grown on me that how cool that place is. And we as fans get to enjoy that and be a part of in a facility like Port Royal. It's a facility that can rank nationally, not just in Pennsylvania. And obviously in Pennsylvania, it is fantastic. And there's tons of investments being made. You can see it around the grounds. That staff, I mean, it's not just one person that says hi, it's everybody. And like some of the people that I haven't seen much, I don't know their first name. They might not know my first name, but they're like, oh, hey, you're here, you're back. They don't need to do that, and they're security guards or they're not even like quote unquote track personnel, but I don't know, man. Port Royal, there's just a feel about it. And I love going up there. I hate the drive home, but I love being there when I'm there. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's why you see 47 cars. I mean, it was a good paying race, $16,000 for this one. It was to reschedule Keith Kaufman. A great purse. It was $750 to start. They did the split B mains, which I honestly liked. And one person I want to give a shout out to is JT Ferry making it into the show. He's had such an up and down year, and he had a really good battle. And it was also the BCI race, who is his major sponsor. They also were part of this race, and to see him get that final transfer spot was awesome. I was so happy for him. So congratulations to JT there. Very, very stout field to get to get in. I mean, there a guy that was Hank Davis, Tanner Thorson, Chase Randall. Those guys were here. They didn't make the feature. You know what I mean? So Hank Davis, obviously, he got into a wreck in his heat race, battling with TJ Stutz. I think he was trying to go underneath TJ, spun out, flipped it. He did get back out there for the B main with I don't know if he rebuilt the same car or he brought a new car out. I don't know, but he had a hard lick. But yeah, just the competition there was crazy, and it's 47 cars. Obviously, Eldora had some rain It looked great here. You get all these high limit guys that left Eldora to come to port, and then what is it, around 4 o'clock on Saturday, all of a sudden you start looking at the radar, it looks like nothing but rain. We're like, you gotta be kidding me. This came out of nowhere. It didn't really rain. It drizzled a little bit. Barely ever, I don't think it ever even got the ground wet. And then by the time they started racing, it was fine. And you had the 47 here. You had a couple guys doing double duty with ESS, and they had a good car count of 30. I think it was 30, just straight 30 or 32.
Sounds
360s, which around here is very hard to see. You know, we know how URC has been struggling to get cars, so it was good to see a good car count, and a lot of guys come from up north. Just an overall great night, and just a really great preview of what Weikert should be this upcoming weekend. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Anybody else from here before we move on?
Santos actually made a comment about how late it was, and it was late, and I'll tell you why it was late. Both divisions time trialed with
Mhm.
2 cars at a time for the 410s with a lot of cars, and then ESS did 3 at a time, so it was 10 groups of that, and
Yep.
it's a half mile, and it takes time to push them off. It was just a lot of time trialing with cars that don't have starters, so like, we
Plus
had a
it didn't
spin out
get
in time trials. We had a car stop in time trials. So it did take a long time. And Baps last night was late too. I kept looking at my watch going, I cannot believe how late it is. I didn't feel like the things were just drug out, but yeah, both nights were very long.
Yeah. And I don't think, nobody I said, hey, maybe you'll see 1 or 2 high limit guys. I kind of figured maybe Brent, if he didn't go to Eldora, maybe 1 or we knew during the week Tanner Thorson was going to. But when Eldora kind of looked like it was, and then all these guys just changed up, I mean, that really changed the dynamic of the entire night, where you had a much bigger car count, I think, than they were expecting. So I don't think you're not going to turn cars away though. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a little late, but it was understandably so. I think everybody understood why, and plus we were dealing with some rain a little bit at the beginning of the night. Just kind of, I don't think we were in like a huge rush to get started, because you just kind of felt like it was going to start dumping. It never did, luckily. So
Yeah,
I
things
thought they
did
kept it
start off
moving pretty
a
decent.
little. Yeah, things did get delayed a little bit. I think based on the schedule, things were
Mhm.
pushed back a little bit too. So for sure,
Yeah.
and
Plus,
I,
you
I,
had
I guess it's funny how like your perspective changes things. I was so hyped for this night, so hyped for this. I knew there were going to be invaders. I was hyped that I was able to make it to this race. I was hyped that it was the Kaufman. I was so hyped that ESS was there that honestly,
Mhm.
I didn't care. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes me almost step back and go, when I do complain about the lateness or I do complain about delays, was I really that excited about the show?
It's a good point.
Or
Yeah.
or is it fair to be critical of the racetrack tonight or circumstances or just, hey, this is just the way it fell or weather? I I I've rethought that here because, like, honestly, I never thought at any point, like, what are we doing? Why are we waiting around? I was just so excited for
Yes.
what was coming next.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a perspective thing, and it's something I probably need to keep in mind more often sometimes, I think.
Mhm.
That again, I never go to a racetrack dreading being there, but there are nights where I'm like, "What are we doing? Can we let's go. Let's go." I didn't feel that way at Port Royal even though it was late.
And I think you said it right. They had 3 B mains, 2 for the 410, then you also had it for ESS. Plus ESS had their own dash. So you had 4 on top of all the heats. You had that. And I didn't feel like there was really any downtime in between. They kept rolling cars out the entire time. There wasn't much downtime. They kept it moving. I think the nights that you get frustrated are the nights it's like they say the 8-minute horns on, and we waited 20 minutes until all the cars were out there.
Right.
Those nights, sometimes I think is when fans get frustrated. I didn't feel that way at Port. Um, so, but yeah. I mean, it was a little bit of a late night, but when you have that many sprint cars, it's kind of expected a little bit. Points for the 410s. Brock Zierfoss is now your point leader, 25 points over Ryan Smith. Then it's Lance DeWeese, Logan Weikert, Chase Dietz, your top 5. Troy Wagaman, Doug Hammaker, Danny Dietrich, Justin Whittle, and AJ Flick, your top 10.
What an interesting points
Good.
battle there. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if I don't know how it'll play out or how the drivers feel about this or how the season's going to go. If Brock's going to go travel some, does it matter? But we talked about this before the season started about this points title at Port Royal being kind of wide open a little bit. Lance making the return, right? The 69K doing what they do. Now, do they run all of the rest of the races? All right. I don't know. This one will be an interesting battle to watch, I think, because I still think there is a ton to be decided because who's going to run the most races and then how is their season going to go, right?
Mhm.
Like Logan Wagner, I would assume is committed to all port races. The 8 car, probably all of them, but it's the
Yeah.
69K with Ryan. I know Troy isn't. Brock,
Yeah.
where does this end up when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I was gonna say Brock will be. He might miss one or two. If I know they were planning on traveling a little bit, especially for like Eldora and Knoxville. Not that Port really races during those, but it'll be interesting to keep an eye on. I think you're right, but this is sometimes what can happen though. You get to this point, and you're like, oh well, we're in this kind of battle now. Maybe we want to rethink things. So we'll see. It's
Well,
definitely
that's
something
what
to
I'm
keep an eye
saying.
on.
Like, you look at this rundown and who are the port regulars?
All of them, I would
Buck
say,
Wagner?
except for Troy and maybe Danny. Danny kind of picks and goes wherever. Troy's been mostly Lincoln, but has been really successful at Port, and it's why he's up here in these points. Hasn't missed much. AJ Flick
Just an
now, I don't know
interesting
what you know what I mean. I don't think he's going to be in that 77 going forward, right? I think
right.
so.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's definitely
just
interesting.
I know it's early, but they've had enough races now where like is this Logan Wagner's to lose potentially?
I don't know.
I mean, I would him and Lance. Is it going to come down to those two? Like depending on the 69K, I don't, and I'd have to go back and look. Did they run all the port races last year? I feel like they didn't because Cassie was some of them, right?
Right.
So they typically don't run both on the same night. And I assume Brock's going to travel a little bit. So is this coming down to Lance Deweese and Logan Wagner for the points
And
title
that's
port?
so Brandon Sanders just said, depending on how the season pans out, how many races get rained out, the 69K, if they run all the shows, just like you're saying, it's probably a Lance and Logan Wagner, a Lance and Logan battle. Yeah,
Brandon gets it. Brandon,
yep,
or
yep.
I get it. I don't know. Brandon probably smarter
No.
than me. He probably already knew that. I'm catching up, but same.
um, but yeah, I think it ends up becoming between them two. But again, how things rain out, and maybe Brock gets to Speed Week, he's still leading points. He's like, maybe I want to rethink this and go after the track title. You don't know.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
that happened with Lance at the Grove a couple years ago. You know what I mean? It's like, oh well, all the rainouts. Well, now we're committed to trying to go for this track title. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Empire Super Sprints. Alex Therian, is that how I say it right? I know
Tyrion,
he's
maybe?
Tyrion because he's Canadian. Gets the
That
win here. Looked really, really good. That's a great looking race car, by the way. Um, really, really fun 360 show all night long. Shout out Adam Buchanan. Uh, did a fantastic job on the mic. Uh, great to finally meet him. He can't. He. What did he say? They rolled into like their driveway at like 7:30 in the morning. Like these guys made a haul. Some of them stay. Like Jordan Poirier, he stayed. He ran Baps yesterday. I don't know what his plans are here. I'm sure they probably went back home. But a lot of these guys, I mean, from Canada, Upper New York. I mean, these guys had 7-8 hour drives to get down here. That's why I felt awful when I started seeing the rain on the radar. I'm like, could you imagine? We're here. Like there, it didn't look like a lot of rain. Like Port was going to get this in for these guys, and I'm really hoping it sounds like that the D will bring them back because I thought it was fantastic. I thought they put on some really good racing.
Yeah, and listen, car counts. They supported this show. These
Yep.
guys didn't have to. It's ESS, but I'm sure if things are tight, whatever, they didn't have to. But from everything that we heard and from Adam, like this was a bucket list for that series. Almost every driver was like, I want to be a part of this deal. I want to be a part of going to Port Royal. I'm going to do whatever I can do to make sure my team, my car, myself, my family, whatever, gets down here for this race. And that I like, what more could you ask for a series that doesn't run here regularly to support it, that whole series to come down here and support it the way they did. And yeah, the way Adam talked, Port Royal was like, please, yeah, we want you back next year. Um, just super, super neat, and some good looking race cars. There were some really names that I'm like, damn, okay, that car didn't look fast, but that son of a bitch went third, and they're good. From all things told, this series is the premier sprint car series in that area up there. It is their 410s. It is our 410s up there, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, Chase Dietz got a fast 360, knows his way around it, and got to third. This kid here, he got the lead and was flat out gone. Like,
Yeah.
checked the F out. When he passed and took the lead, because that dude that was leading the whole time, I was like, unless something happens, he's got this. And even on the restart, I was like, he's still going to be fine. This Tyrion dude just got the lead and checked out. And if anybody listened to the show last week, this was Adam's dark horse to win this race.
This was the guy. Yeah.
That did not hit me until I saw his name. And then I went, wait a minute. He was in the lead. And I went, wait, that's the one Adam picked out as the dark horse. Because he saw something. He follows the series. He knows his guys. Right? If you remember last year, our buddy Alex Robinson came on and we asked him to pick a dark horse, and he picked Creed Kemenal. That's not a dark horse, brother. Adam knew his format. He knew, even complicated, he knew his format. He knew his series. No, but all seriousness, like, this kid, man, he kicked our ass and got out in victory lane. And did you hear that accent? Could you hear it?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't understand the damn word he was saying. I couldn't hear a word. All I knew is he did his interview. Like, here was the best part. He did his interview, got his picture by himself, right? He walked away. He was done. He was like, he didn't bring his crew in. He didn't any of the trophy girls. He was like, I'm out. He was going over to talk to his crew. He was done. We're like, hey, come on back. We got some more for you. Come on. He was so nervous and so excited. He couldn't believe it, man. It's one of those moments that you're like, we've been to the racetrack a lot. You hear victory in the interviews, and there's never been a driver. There's only been a few drivers get out of the car unhappy after a win. We won't get into that, but like, this just felt different, and that's fun. Like, that's a fun deal when it just feels different from a guy like that. And maybe it's because it's new to us. I don't know, but like, this, you could tell this was special to this kid.
Yeah. Brandon Center says, if I'm not mistaken, they drew more cars than URC does during the Speed Week show, and had not for the weather, there were 42 pre-registered. Exciting racing on top of that. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it could have been more. It could have been. Didn't they say somebody? Maybe they were running a 410, but they
brought both cars. He brought a 360 and a 410. And in the most Canadian accent ever, our buddy Adam said, in the most Canadian accent ever, he said, I didn't come here to do a high limit race. Push the 410 back in the trailer. And he said, nope, I'm not prepared for a high limit race. I'll stick to my 360.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I hope they come back next year, make it a yearly thing. You know what I mean? Just, and like I said, I don't think they expected this, with the rescheduled Keith Kaufman. I don't think they expected, as many cars, but man, it was a great show all around.
If they really wanted to, like, do it right, they'd have figured out a way to get our 358 guys in, because there's a few of them that would love to be a part of this. Yeah. And the way the rules are set up, I get it that they can't necessarily make concessions because they would have to other places and other ways, but our 358 guys aren't going to outmotor these premier 360s that these guys got. There's a few cars in the field that would have absolutely been a part of this, I think, and I at least five. I'd say at least five drivers, teams could have been a part of this that probably wanted to be. Hopefully that can, if they come back, that some of those teams can be a part of it. That's my own, and that's not even a gripe. I just am hopeful that they can go get that experience too, and get more laps at Port Royal, because there isn't a 358 driver that was like, that hates Port Royal. They want to do more at Port Royal. They want more races at Port Royal, and every time that they leave there, they're like, that was fun. So it would be great for them to figure out how to be a part of it.
Any other closing thoughts from Port Royal? We'll talk more about Port Royal, obviously, with the upcoming week here a little bit later.
Nope.
Baps last night.
Great night.
Baps last night. Chase Dietz again, back to back. He almost won 3 in 2 nights because he was coming in that 360 feature as well at Port. But Chase Dietz, man, another one over Brent Marks, Logan Rumsey, podium finish. Freddie Raymer, Cam Smith, Danny Dietrich, Tyler Ross, Kyle Moody, Ryan Smith, and Justin Whittle. Your top 10. Justin Whittle was your hard charger, coming from 20th and had to come from the B main to 10th. And then your heat race winners were Dietz, Rumsey, and Cam Smith. Great racing here. Some really, really good battles. Obviously, a little delay with some of the lights and stuff. Kind of made this a little bit of a later one than they probably wanted, but the racing did not disappoint. Track was nice and wide. You had 2 lanes. You had guys running the bottom, guys running the top. But Chase Dietz is just... He had to make that one move that he had to make on Freddie Raymer to get to second, going around a lap car. That took some balls. That's when you know you're driving with a lot of confidence. Was a move like that right there.
Yeah, this was it was hard to watch this one a little bit because I kept watching like the Brent and Chase battle, and I moved after there was a red flag, and that Brent and Chase battle was really good, and I was like, man, like, you know, I'm not a secret, but I was rooting for Brent, but I was like, in clean air on a restart, Brent did not get away, and I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Chase is really, really, really good. And listen, Brent is self-admittedly, there's some struggles this year. This probably felt pretty good. Like, never want to lose a race, but led some laps. You know what? Hey, look, Chase got by, was better. What do you need to do next, kind of thing? But like, it just proved that point again how good Chase is right now. Like, he just was patient, waited for the right time, found a different line that worked, was able to pull off the slider finally in 1 and 2 there. It Chase, they had that car so good between him and the Stamen team, and that car, that what he wants, you can see his confidence, and like, he doesn't have to overdrive the car to get it to do what he wants it to do. Like, Rumsey said it earlier, right? Like, Chase always leaves a lane. Well, his car is so damn good, he doesn't have to play defense very often, like right now. And I think you see sometimes, like, and I'm going to use Danny Dietrich as the example. He doesn't play defense very often in a hard close it off, can't let this guy back by me way, because he's like, my car's good enough. I'm going to go to I'll get you. I'll get you. I'll get you. He doesn't have to do crazy shit to close off the passes or speak. And look, error is defensive, but that's not just closing holes or slamming across someone's nose and shit like that. I'm just saying, like, Chase can be patient. His car's so good that he knows it's just a matter of time, and that opportunity will come. And then when it's time, it's go, and he can do it cleanly because his car's so good. We've seen Danny that way. When that car's hooked up, it's the same way. That's why a lot of people will always give Danny credit for how clean he races, because like when he's on, he knows he can go do this without really forcing things. It just comes to him, and the car is so good. And Chase is so hooked up right now. It just felt like he was playing chess when everybody else playing checkers, just trying to get to the finish line, right? Like, it's what it felt like. Like, holy shit, I know what I got. I just got to do it the right way. So, yeah, not a terrible race to watch. Babs did a good job keeping up with the track all night because it was dry, it was dusty, it was really freaking hot, but like dusty in not a horrible way here. Like, it raced great. It had, and it was funny with the lights going out, the way they set up the temporary lights, and like there were dark spots and light spots everywhere. It reminded me of old school Susky so much. It was dusty. It was dark. It had such an old school feel vibe to it that I was just like, man, it brought back some nostalgia for me. Like, standing there watching it, like, this is what I remember watching as a fan. Like, there's an absolute dark spot right there. Like, you can't see shit between those lights. Like, I don't know if there's drivers or any other fans that were there last night that, I mean, did anybody else get that vibe? That's the vibe it gave me, was old school Susky vibes, man, just like all around. I mentioned after the race in a post that it was the top 3 or 5 like dirtiest I've ever been leaving a racetrack. Not because of what you see in this picture here. It was because of time trials. I was standing off of 4 there getting pictures, and we got absolutely clobbered because it was up high in 3 and 4 in time trials, and they were just sailing it. I mean, I got destroyed. I was like, it was from the start. I mean, it was hot. I was sweaty. It was 90 degrees. So all the dirt that was on me started to like,
Just stick to you.
it was turning to mud. It was turning to mud
Yeah.
on my arms and shit. It was bad. I was like, oh, I came home and like, I like rinsed myself before I even like showered. It was pretty gross, but, it was a great race all the way around. Like Chase Dietz just laid it on everybody once again.
Hank Davis made the trip here. He was one of the other kind of invaders. He had a decent run, 14th. I think his first time the BAPS. Jordan Poirier, he stuck around, got a 20th place here. Good to see a couple fresh faces there. John Edkin got turned around. I think Brock Zierfoss ran into him. He got over. Brock was running up there towards the top 5. Tough break for him. Other than that, though, I mean, just good racing throughout the field. Tyler Ross, another he could have been hard charger. This guy, 16th to 7th, just consistently getting up there towards that top 5, like well into the top 10, no matter where he starts anymore. It seems like so. He's just a guy that you got to keep an eye on constantly, especially at BAPS.
Just a quick note. If you want to see the difference between A main speed and B main speed, go watch the B main from last night and watch Justin Whittall start at the back of it, pass like 8 cars on the first lap, and then a yellow comes out and he does it again and gets to second. You want to see the difference in like a main top 10 5-speed car and B main top 5-speed cars. No offense to everybody who was in a B, right? Everybody's a different place, but it's just different. Like watch that and you're like, oh, that's A main speed. It was kind of
Yeah.
You don't see that very often. Like it's pretty rare, and it just stood out. Like it was bright white car too, but man, he was ripping.
Josh Coleman, Brent's been struggling. At one point, does he put the Maxim back together or jump on the Triple X train?
They're working on it. I know there's not for lack of effort. They tested earlier this year at BAPS with different shock packages. They've kind of gone back and forth with some shock stuff. Work in progress to get that feel he's looking for. So I know last year they jumped between Maxim and RPM. This year it's been a little bit of shock differences. There's definitely, it's not for lack of effort trying or changes to just get that right combination they're looking for. So yeah, I don't know where he stands now. I'll probably have to look a little closer this weekend, what he's kind of got going on. I didn't really talk to him in the last week or two, but when they were in town the last time they came to the BAPS test and it was strictly shock testing, like just shock testing. They had the CSI guys were there, I believe, with them at the racetrack, representative and trying to help get the car going in the right direction. So they're definitely working on it for sure.
Let's go to the 358 feature. Derek Locke holding off Cody Fletcher for the win. Brock Hammaker finishes third, who was also your hard charger, 12th to 3rd. Wyatt Hinkle, Tyler Rutherford, top 5s. Logan Spar, also charging 9 spots, 15th to 6th. Chase Robinson, Brian Wolf Jr., Kinzer Leitner, and PJ Rudeman. Your top 10. Good field of cars here for the 358s. Your heat race winners were Derek Locke, Cody Fletcher, and Cole Young. This was a really, really fun race to watch. Cody Fletcher was so good. Brock Hammaker was like kind of right there behind him, both charging through the field. Good runs for Wyatt Hinkle and Tyler Rutherford. Good top 5s for those guys. But Derek Locke gets the win. He was super pumped up. He had a 3-race weekend. He raced Friday. He raced Saturday at Port in the 360. And then he raced last night at BAPS. Not something that they normally do. And it's good to be able to get that capped off with a win.
Excuse me. I mentioned in our Discord while this was still going on, I think they were under a red flag or something, and it was like a heavyweight bout, man. Derek Locke and Cody Fletcher just getting after it. And it wasn't really like crazy sliders, but man, they were just trying to figure each other out. And Derek said in Victory Lane didn't really know where to go because Fletcher's been so good. He's like, I don't know what I needed to do. But as it kind of went on, I think Derek got better and Cody slipped just a little. Cody fell off just a little bit, but I mean, damn, Brock Hammaker, dude, he was right there. Like he
Mhm.
was very similar
He
speed
closed in
before the
right on
last
them.
yellow, and then right after that yellow, he gave Cody a run for second. Even man, the thing that stood out to me here was I was standing at entry to 3 where this picture was, and I was amazed how hard they could drive down into 3. Like it looked slick, but they were pulling the wing back and running up the track. I thought it was going to be bottom the whole race, and it was not. And I I don't know if things are changing in that division or if that's just the track is kind of created that, but man, it felt like everybody was just driving so hard into 3 at BAP so late in the night, all night, just driving in there so hard. Um, Super entertaining. I don't like Fletcher ninth to second, second to first, Brock through the field. Wyatt made some passes. The Wyatt Hinkle Tyler Rutherford battle was fun. That was
Mhm.
great. Chase Robinson, this is a young guy to watch. Like, not a lot of experience, but he battled. He fell back some spots here, but every spot that he lost, he battled to keep like hard. Um, the Kinsler Leitner, PJ Rudiman, Dylan Smith in 13th. I and if Dylan's watching, forgive me or correct me. First 358 start, I want to say that's a 305 guy. So maybe a spot start here or there, but to my knowledge, and he looked really good, drove hard. Josh Tuckey, this is Eli's twin brother, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Congrats to
Oh,
Eli
yeah,
and
yeah.
his wife, their newborn. Josh made his first start, I believe. He's done some testing, brought out this car, and he tagged the rear all night, made all the laps, didn't cause any problems. By the end of the night, he was getting in the corner, looked pretty damn natural. So, this is Eli's twin brother. So, Jansen Shrine, another young guy. I mean, this was cool, and I'm telling you, I was saying for years, and I'm glad it's paying off. 358s at BAPS are a good show,
Mhm.
and I'm pumped that they're there more this year.
Yeah. They used to only really get like 1 or 2 with the 410s at least. They got quite a few shows this year, and this was another really, really good one. They've been great so far this year. Um, but yeah, congratulations, Derek Locke, on the win. Some really good runs here from some of these names. Yeah, great show overall at BAPS. Real quick, any other thoughts from BAPS from last night? Um,
Not that I can think of now. I've done enough yapping.
World of Outlaws, real quick. Let's race 2 at Eldora. Rico Abreu gets the win on Friday night over Buddy Kofoid, Gio Selzy, Aaron Reitzel, and Logan Schuhart, your top 5. Donnie Schatz, Brian Brown, Parker Price, Miller, Cole Macedo, and Tanner Holmes, your top 10. Heat race winners were Rico, Selzy, Schuhart, and Schatz. Quick time was Logan Schuhart, and your hard charger, having come from a B main, was David Gravel, who finishes 11th. My thoughts from this, basically, I mean, a lot of parity in that top 10 between Outlaws, High Limit. You got Parker Price, Miller, and Brian Brown sprinkled in there. Rico Abreu is just so damn good at Eldora. He's so good. And I felt like this could be, we talked a little bit, not that he's struggling, but we thought maybe he'd be winning a little bit more, up front a little bit more. He's just been a little inconsistent. But this could have been a get-right weekend for him. Showed a lot of the speed that we kind of come to expect from Rico Abreu.
I think when he hit the wall near the end there, it made the car better. If it broke the ladder out of it, it made it better somehow. But he was just a better car once he got out there and got gone. And um, High Limit 3 out of the top 5 there.
Yeah, how about it?
How about that? That's something.
But yeah, Rico there. It was interesting that you see David Gravel, Carson Macedo, 11th, 12th there. Not much else. For Saturday night, though, Logan Schuhart gets the win over Rico Abreu, who finishes second. Brady Bacon with a solid 3rd place. Emerson Axum, Sheldon Hodenshield, David Gravel, Garrett Williamson, Tyler Courtney, Spencer Baston, Donnie Schatz, your top 10. Logan, Rico, and Sheldon Hodenshield were your heat race winners. Rico was your quick time. Hard charger was Spencer Baston, 19th to 9th, plus 10 positions. Still definitely there's a couple less cars here. Obviously, Port Royal inherited quite a bit of that top 10, to be honest. But great job by Logan. Logan really needed that, I think. Big win for that team. Just trying to get right there. You know what I mean? They've been fast at times, just haven't been able to really get the wins. But this was a big one for them.
Yeah, what stood out to me, I didn't get to see a lot of this one, but what stood out to me, I did watch his interview. And if you didn't see it yet, go watch the interview. I don't need to say much more. Just go watch Logan's interview.
It,
That's all.
yeah, it
That's
was
all I
really
got
good.
from this one.
Meant a lot for them. Again, Rico P2. He's just going to be the guy to watch, I think, for when it comes to Kings Royal in a couple weeks or 2 months or so. Great battle with Brady Bacon too. He almost swept the entire night because he won the USAC race. So, but yeah, Eldora, I'm excited to get out there for Kings Royal. Damn it! Overall, pretty good weekend. Good on them for getting Saturday in. They dealt with a lot of rain. They got a lot of rain overnight. Got the track in pretty good shape. Put on 2 good shows. Looking at the points, David Gravel was able to extend his lead by about 20 points over Carson Macedo and Buddy Kofoid. They're now over 100 points back. Donnie Schatz and Sheldon Hansfield separated by 2 points, 4th and 5th. And Logan Schuhart, Garrett Williamson, Cole Macedo, Chris Wyndham, and Spencer based in your top 10. Couple other winners I want to point out. The World of Outlaw late models were in town. Bobby Pierce got the win down in Georgetown. Tim McCready got the win at Sealands Grove. Marion Center got rained out Saturday. That got rescheduled. Friday they had like a double feature. I don't know who won those. And then Mason Ziegler got the win at Bedford last night. I went to Sealands Grove on Thursday. I just wanted to make a comment on it. Great night. It was cold. It was a Thursday. It was raining on my drive in, and the crowd was still great. The track was fantastic. The feature was awesome. The racing all night. Something about, like, we have some really good late models here in Central PA. I think if you're not checking them out at Sealands Grove or Port Royal, do so, because they competed. Lane Snook was one that really stood out.
Ziegler had a good run for a while.
Yeah, and
one of those.
But Tim McCready gets to win was pretty awesome. But this track was wide. When these national guys come in, though, they really put on a great show. It's like a noticeable difference. Even though our super late models are really good and they put on good shows here locally, it just elevates the level, and it's a different thing. Jaden Troutman was second. Mason Ziegler was third at Sealands Grove. Nick Hoffman finished 5th. He tied the track record, which is crazy to me. That first of all, the track record was set by Hayes Mattern earlier this year. To tie the track record to the point, like three decimal points, is pretty crazy. And Lane Snook finishes 7th here, but he was battling with Nick Hoffman all night. Up there in that top 5. Definitely a name to watch. Young kid. So really, really good. But great time at Sealands Grove. Happy for them. They were stoked to have him there. And hopefully it helps put them onto a little bit more of a national eye, maybe a little bit. Maybe they get this leads into more. Our buddy Mason Hannigan, we had him on the show last year. 8th race in a full-size sprint car. Got the win at Lima Land with the Great Lakes Super Sprints. Want to give a shout-out. Congratulations to him. There's some good cars in here. Caleb Henry finished 3rd. Zane DeVault finished 5th. So, and he started on the pole, led every lap, and got his first career win. So we want to give a big congratulations to Mason. Definitely a name to keep an eye on.
It's got to be his iRacing experience at Lima Land. Him and I are really, really good at Lima Land, and we've had some great races at Lima. It's got to be iRacing that did that.
It has to be that.
Pumped.
It has to be that.
He was pumped in our Discord. He's like, I cannot believe I won a race. Like I won a 410. He was like in disbelief. Greatest moment of his short life so far. Definitely, a name to keep an eye on. And that's his family deal. They put that together, got out on the racetrack for the first time in it. I want to say it was their first race in it. And
this year,
with him and his dad, and gets the win, man. It was super, super cool. keep an eye out for this guy.
Yeah, definitely a name to keep an eye out for there in the Midwest, Ohio area. Racing 360s right now, but I would imagine 410s probably in this future. Craig Perigo wins over at Perigo Valley Raceway Park at Path Valley with the Wingless Sportsman. Perigo hasn't lost there this year, so just want to give Craig he won the opener, he won this one. Want to give him a shout out. Congratulations to Craig. And then something to note as we're going to get into the Weikert preview here. Yeah, sorry, I had a typo there, Steph. Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah, thanks, Steph.
The All-Star race at Fremont and then a race at Attica during the week. Two $20,000 to win shows plus a $10,000 bonus. Aaron Reitzel walks out $50,000 richer before going to Eldora on Friday and then coming to Port on Saturday. This guy is on fire. I think did Jeremy Elliott say something like he was as like a 1.8 average finish in his last 6 races. It's insane. He won 4 in a row. So I think this is a big storyline as we talk about them coming into the week. Obviously, we saw what he did at Port Royal, but big week for Aaron Reitzel. Let's talk about this upcoming week. First, let's start off, as we know, Grandview tomorrow night, High Limit Series midweek show. It's part of the midweek series, 20,000 to win. Starts, I think the heat race is supposed to start at 7:30. Everything will be a little bit earlier, 6 o'clock or so. It'll be on Flow Racing. It'll also be on FS1, which is pretty cool. Hopefully weather and everything holds out. Kyle Larson will be there. Hey, that was one name that was announced to be there. Should be a great show. This is always a big one up there in Grandview. They'll pack those grandstands, and those grandstands are high and steep. There's a lot of places to sit, and they will pack it out. Pretty excited for this one. Definitely something to keep an eye on. And then Wednesday, Lincoln has a weekly show with 410 and 358s, but they will be doing time trials for the 410s. If you can't make it there Wednesday night, it'll be on PA Posse TV. So that gets our whole week started here. We pretty much have racing every night, starting tomorrow night through till Monday. It's really kind of a big kickoff here for summer and a lot of racing to watch. Grandview is going to be awesome. Always has a pretty good high limit show when the 410s get up there. And then Lincoln, hopefully they, I know we were talking about before with Logan. Hopefully they get a good car count. I think they will. I think they'll get, at least a full field. I don't know if you're going to get like 30, 40 cars or anything, but should at least have a full field. You'll get your regulars. Maybe you'll get a couple guys that want to get some laps in. And also it's going to depend on what weather looks like too, a little bit, on what people want to do. So I am surprised that this one's time trials though. Very surprised that this one's time trials.
I don't get it. I somebody might have to explain it to me. DM me. Tell me what's up. Why? It's a weeknight.
Yeah.
I don't think you're getting cars. I don't know if you get cars if it's 10 grand to win. Just Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are more important. From traveler standpoint, this should be a draw show at worst.
Or group time trials or something. I don't think we need to do single car time trials.
This one I don't get.
This is a regular $5,000, a regular paying show. It's not like they up the purse or anything. So
the title of the show says weekly racing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess it's their chance to get a couple cars, but for what? High limit guys aren't coming back here. Maybe for the Steve Smith, some Speed Week stuff, maybe. But do they have to do this show to get ready for that? I can't
maybe
imagine.
They get a guy like Kyle Larson to show up since it's time trials.
He wouldn't tell you if he was,
but Kyle Larson doesn't need the laps. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I don't know. But yeah, you might get them. You might get a couple more cars, but I think if anything, it might keep some people away. So it's kind of a fine balance. We'll see though. Hopefully weather holds out and they could get both of these shows in. We're going to be dealing with some hot weather tomorrow, maybe some thunderstorms, and then Wednesday is kind of like when that front starts to move through. So definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we're probably bitching about nothing, to be honest, because it doesn't look great. So
Yeah, who knows what happens. Santos says, "How could you not be excited for time trials?" I love
there's
time
about
trials. It's
60.
not that. It's
There's about
just
65 more of those shows this year. This is a weekly show. This is not an outlaw show.
maybe they change it to time tot laps or something. I think
No,
that's
they already
probably the
changed
best
it
way.
from something else to time trials in the last
Yeah.
week.
But we'll see how it goes. I don't hate the Wednesday show. I think the Wednesday show is a good idea.
Agreed. I don't hate it.
You know,
But
especially when
I
they
think
weren't able to race the past 2 weeks, and then you're going to have another week of no racing. I mean, yeah, that take the opportunity where you have it.
actually I could have just misspoke. This may have been time trials all along, but I think that everyone was under the assumption or was told that any weekday show would not be time trials
It
or
says
something
it's
to that
weekly
effect.
racing.
But whether they changed it or didn't, the whole idea here, obviously putting this in here, was to try to get outsiders to come in. And if you
Yeah.
think about it, right, Lincoln was dark last week. They're darkness this week. They're dark again for 2 weeks in a row. I get the idea of this Wednesday,
100%, yeah.
but I know where they're headed with it. But I just, now that we're here, I just don't see. I would love for them to have 32 cars. I would love that. Trust me, I'm a Lincoln fan. I would love it. But like, I don't see it. I don't. I'm hopeful, but I just can't see that matters in this case. That it's going to get more people, more cars.
Oh, I hope it does. I hope it gets a couple. You know what I mean? I
Me too.
think it will.
I do too. I'm hopeful, man, but I'm also realistic. Like I'm not. Yeah, trying to
I
walk
think
that line of
I
like
think
hopeful but realistic.
I think if Lincoln ends up looking like really good weather on Wednesday, and the weather forecast for Weikert weekend looks the way it is, where you might lose 2 shows. I hope not, but God forbid if we did lose 2 shows, then that might push some more people to Lincoln while they're here in town.
I I once had a smart businessman tell me hope isn't a strategy. Just saying.
Yeah, you're right. 358 car count is going to be bad too. Oh, Trevor Stover says
weekday.
22
There's
410 and 13 358s.
I mean, yeah, it's a weekday for 3. If it's hard to get 410 guys who listen, it's a commitment at all levels. I'm not, so when I say this, trust me, I'm not like, but if it's hard to get 410 drivers to come out to this, it's even harder to get 358 drivers to come out for this.
Yeah.
Even harder on a weeknight. I'm just
Unless
saying,
you're running for
like,
points, basically, at this point, you're going to have to kind of go there.
that's the 13 you'll get.
Well, if you can't make it to the track on Wednesday night, you could catch it on PA Posse TV and Grandview tomorrow night. So let's get into Weikert, Port Royal. Again, I don't want to talk too much about weather because who knows, it's going to change a bunch of times. It is going to be a lot cooler for sure. Going to have to contend with some rain. I do think Port has maybe a little bit of a luxury where, we've seen like places like Eldora move up their start times and do all sorts of different things. I don't think Port Royal is going to go that crazy, but I think they can get away with moving times up or running like a late afternoon show if they had to, or who knows. But 3 nights for the Bob Weikert Memorial. Night 1, Friday night, 10 grand to win for the High Limit Series. Wingless Sportsmen are the support. Saturday night, the Fallen Heroes Championship, where they'll have limited late models for the support. Both of those nights, 10 grand to win. Then the big one on Sunday, $100,000 to win, Bob Weikert Memorial. Super amped up for this. I love this weekend every year. Them bumping it up to 100 grand last year has really elevated this. This is the first big paying race in the country, not just here. A first one in the 6 figures. I think you see a lot of cars. I mean, you saw 47 on a whim for that. I think 50 could be pretty easy. And And the thing to keep in mind with this, and they haven't announced it yet, but they've been doing it for years now, is they do have a format for this. It's not just going to be a straight up high limit show. They have their own format where everything has points all night, and they did it last year for all 3 nights. There's points for time trials, then they invert either 6 or 8 depending on how many cars they have, and then they use the ASC as passing points, and then top 10 in the points redraw. Everything else for the rest of the night is lined up straight up by points, including your consies. I love the format, to be honest, because it makes these guys pass, but also gives you an opportunity that if the track goes away after time trials, you can make up some points as well, if you didn't qualify as well. So, um, something a little bit different. It gives some different guys an opportunity, I think, but usually, almost always, the cream ends up rising to the top. Um, so I guess before we get into picks, what are your thoughts on Weikert this weekend?
The biggest thing that I have, and it's not even racing related, is go to Port Royal's Facebook page and look at the events they have each day that aren't racing. Go check
Yep.
it out. If you're planning on going, go do some of these things. There's driver interviews with Brad Strawser. There's a band. There's I don't know, petting zoos or some shit. There's something every single day,
They have
like
racing
all day
simulator this
long,
year.
and event style, sort of like Tusky 50 weekend event stuff. They've done that here. So go to their Facebook page, go up and take the family and enjoy it with before you have to sit down and watch racing all night. And I say have to, but you get my point. Like it's a ton of stuff. It's like if you're up there, you're there's something to do for everyone. So this
Indy
is an
500
event.
watch party.
Yeah, and yeah, the Indy 500 watch party like on Sunday. There's something for everyone. It's 3 great nights. We're going to turn it into Perigo Palace up there. Perigo Royal is what we're going to do on Friday night. Um, get Brett, get that Port Royal win he's been searching for. Um, late models have had a pretty good crowd, a pretty good draw this year up there, so I'm excited for that. And then Sunday, like it's the day, it's the one they're going to work for. Um, I think we're going to see a mixed bag of top tens on Friday and Saturday because you're going to have people that, depending on how their night goes, they go into test mode after bad time trial. They go after these wins. There's going to be guys that tear shit up. And then are they going to make it Sunday? Like it is going to be 3 nights of storylines all through the field in every way. There's points battles. There's big money. There's all kinds of things going on. And, um, Port Royal and high limit and having guys in actual pits and then having them in the infield. And there is going to be storylines abound, all around this weekend. God, I hope we can get all 3 of these in. It's always a bummer when one of the 3 and there's a break in the middle and we lose a night and it's just shitty. Doesn't look great right now, but man, I hope we really get these in because Port Royal's earned the opportunity to be on the stage and do what they do. So,
Yeah.
but did I also hear, and forgive me, is there truly a rain date for Monday for Sunday?
Yeah,
For
it's
Sunday for
so
Monday?
the Weikert always has the Monday rain date. Because I remember going up years ago, it got rained like halfway through the event, so they end up running the feature on Monday, and then they ended up doing like a Steve O'Neill, and then they put something together for like an extra feature. They kind of like inverted the finish or whatever, and ran like an extra feature for the fans. Um, so that has been done before. They ran it like late afternoon on a Monday. But
I
that's
was
when
thinking that about the time too. Is it gonna be like daytime Weikert finale? Oh,
uh,
daddy.
yeah.
Give me
I
Dylan
hope, and
Cisney
it's
for the win.
yeah, I hope it doesn't get to that, but if it does, at least we do have Monday. It's a holiday. Everybody's off. You could still get it in. Everybody's still in there. That's what I'm saying. They have kind of a little bit of a luxury where the campground is sold out. You have all these people in town. They can move their start times a little bit with some notice, maybe to work around some weather. I think they can do that no problem. Um, but either way, even if 2 of these 3 races get rained out, it's gonna be a great time anyway. I'm excited to get there camping. They do, um, Sunday morning, they'll come around with donuts if you're in the campground. They used to they used to do. I didn't see anything yet. Because I didn't see anything about a theme. I could have just totally missed it. But they usually do like a tailgate camping decorating contest. They do a lot of cool things, like you're saying, like just a lot of different things there. If you're there for the weekend, outside of the racing, and they just make it a great holiday weekend. Make it a really really great time. So even if it does rain, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? You're going to go there and you're going to have a good time. But I hope it doesn't. I hope we get everything in and yeah, just keep an eye on their socials. They'll be bringing more stuff out. Yeah, there's a iRacing simulator cornhole tournament. We and Chris played that cornhole tournament one year. We got our asses kicked by like a 9-year-old kid. It's like a real deal. These people bring their own bags, have jerseys and everything.
That's
Cornhole
still the
tournament.
funniest fucking.
Me and
That's
Chris
still the
just thought we were
funniest
gonna.
story ever.
Me and Chris, like we're awful at cornhole, but we like playing it. We're like, oh, we're gonna go and just have some fun. We had a great time, but we got eliminated quick. So definitely bring your A game if you're gonna go play that. Cow Patty Bingo. If you don't know what that is, they have a cow. There's a bingo board. Wherever it shits, it's on your bingo card. I never heard of it until this, and it's.
I still don't think it's a real
wild.
thing. I think
It's
you're
a
just
real
making
thing,
that shit
man.
up.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I'm telling you. They'll have livestock and stuff there. Obviously, it's a big. Oh, I do know. Friday night, they're giving away like 250 vouchers for free cheeseburgers. So that's pretty cool. They'll have a lot of giveaways and everything. They do a great job. And Tony with PA Dirt Track and PR says it. I give props to Port. It's not just a race; it's an event to draw people. 100%. They do a great job with this event, making it feel as big, almost as big as Tusky, and one of the bigger events of the weekend. Like it's not just Memorial Day weekend. It's Weikert weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm so fired up for it. I can't wait.
That trophy. The bullhead. The trophy.
The trophy is one.
someday,
It's
Jimmy,
the best in motorsports.
like shout out Tyler Murray and Williams Grove. That pre-race show, we had the Natty Open Trophy behind us. We got to get at Port Royal for this race and get the bullhead on the damn table and do a pre-race show someday.
Yeah,
That's what we got. We got a
That'd be
T2T
cool.
pre-race with the damn bullhead right there on the table with us.
Yeah,
Because
that'd be
that
so
would be cool.
Yeah, keep an eye on the weather. Obviously, keep an eye on Port Royal social media. They'll do everything that they can to get everything in for sure. And just get your ass to the track. Honestly, I mean, for a high limit race, $30 for the first 2 nights, I think is pretty affordable. I mean, we're charging that for just a PA Posse show
series race.
And I don't mean that in a negative way.
Right.
I'm just saying like that. I think that's a great job of them keeping it, pretty
Reasonable.
affordable. And then $45 for $100,000 to win race. All the cars that you're going to get there on Sunday, I think that's reasonable too. So, great job on them. With those prices, I think. I'm excited. Get your ass to the track, but if you can't get there, it will be on Flow Racing. Picks. Let's do a favorite and a dark horse locally first.
Okay, go ahead.
Gotta take Chase Dietz. I mean,
Okay,
that's my
fair.
favorite there. I don't know who else can at this point compete with him, not just on a local level, but even with these national guys coming in. He's just been so good, and I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Chase is obviously is my favorite for the local. Dark horse. I don't know if Troy would be a dark horse for sure. Definitely Troy. I'm between him and Cam Smith. Cam Smith looked really good if he's going to be there. But I mean,
I
there's
don't know
so
what
many others.
that plan is there. Favorite for me would be Danny. He's won it before. He can get it figured out. I'll take Danny as a favorite for local. My dark horse will be Justin Whittle.
Oh hell yeah!
When it's on, it's on. So
Mhm.
That's what I'll go with dark horse. And it doesn't sound like it should be a dark horse, but he's yet to like knock off that big one.
Mm-hmm.
It could be time. It might be time.
Yeah. So it looks like people in chat agree. Santos says favorite Dietz, dark horse Troy. Brandon Zirk favorite Dietz, dark horse Justin Whittle. Mandy says the same thing, Dietz and Whittle. Yeah. If Cam Smith is in the 1A, definitely dark horse. But he really impressed. We didn't talk about it enough, I think, when we're going over results. He looked so good. 6th place, battling up there with those guys. A track that he doesn't have. I mean, he's run there, but not a ton. And man, he looked really good right out the gate. And if they do bring that 1A back for that weekend, I don't know if that's the case. They said maybe more shows in the future. Maybe he's in the 75. I think regardless, though, Cam is he's another guy, one of these young guys that they're going to turn a corner quick. Like once they win, I don't think you're going to be able to stop them. So he's definitely a guy to watch. Dark horse Casey Kane. Yeah, I mean, he should almost be a borderline favorite in that 39M. He looked really good there on Saturday as well.
Yep, speed was there. It's there. Yep. All right, high limit favorite dark horse.
Reitzel favorite.
Go ahead. I'm giving you the layups. I'm letting you.
You're giving me the layups. I appreciate it.
I'll let you have them. It's fine because I'm not saying his goddamn name, so you can have it.
I'll take Reitzel. Dark horse. Jason Pursley. He knows how to get around Port. And with the way this format is, he can put himself in a good position and get it done with that car and that team.
Favorite Rico?
Yep.
Dark horse Justin Peck. I've seen that 26 be fast at Port Royal before. I've seen it be fast before. And if they have it right, he's a guy who I think everybody would be shocked, but it's not like the craziest dark horse that's ever been said before. You never know.
Yeah, no, I think that's he's one that comes to mind. Another person that I don't think is dark horse necessarily to win, but because he looked so bad there on Saturday, but I've seen him he looked good at Port before. Chase Randall. He's looked good at Port before at times. And he's a guy, again, with this format.
Got that car rolling better.
Yeah, he's been looking better this year. Now he ran last in his B main on Saturday, but time trial position and all that matters. You know what I mean? If he's a guy that can take advantage of this point system, I think he's a guy that if he starts up front, you never know what could happen. You know what I mean? I don't think he's necessarily a dark horse to win, but if he finished top 5, I would be like, hey, look at that.
Who's that? Santos Troutman there? Favorite Holmes dark horse Reitzel? That's Santos De La Troutman?
Yeah, I think you want to go reverse there. Holmes would definitely be the dark horse. I think
you got that backwards there, brother. Maybe you don't. I don't know.
Eric Schneck, favorite Reitzel, dark horse Kerry Matson. I could see that. He's a veteran guy like that. If they could put it together in a night.
I think he's got to race better at Port. I think he can time trial, and I think he races, but I think he's got to race better. You know, when it comes to the racing side of it, which is crazy that I'm saying that about a guy like Kerry Madsen, but I think at Port Royal, the racing side matters. You know, he's got to get that figured
out. Brandon Zirk, favorite Tyler Courtney, dark horse would be Gio. Gio looked pretty good there. He's getting better there every single time he's there. Tyler Courtney is a puzzling one. I don't know. He's up and down.
If Tyler Courtney wins any of these 3, it will be the biggest win he's had in a long, long time. Like he's on the struggle bus hard right now. So, and he is good at Port Royal. He's been good at Port. He's ran up front. But man, if Tyler Courtney can just be in the top 5 in one or two of these, would be big for them right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did win. You know what I mean? We know the talent and the car is there. It's just they haven't been able to really put it together consistently this year. Daniel Lisa also says dark horse Sunshine. Steph agrees with me. Reitzel and Chase Randall. Mandy says a favorite would be Gio. A dark horse would be Thorson. Thorson, yeah, for sure. He didn't look great there on Saturday, but I think he's a guy that more and more laps as he gets, he can be by the time, if they get all 3 of these races in, he could be a guy by the time Sunday rolls around. Who knows? You don't know. He's been really good. Is Brad Sweet racing? That's a good question. I don't know.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. But I mean, he was just at Eldora. You wouldn't know it. He was basically
Was?
missing off the. Yeah, he finished like 17th on Saturday. I think he missed the feature on Friday. He was way off. So you never know. Would Casey Kane be a dark horse? No, I think he's a favorite in the 39M. I think he has to be a borderline favorite. The favorite is Rain. Don't say that, Mandy. Come on. But yeah, I think maybe
Mandy.
some other
Mandy,
outsider.
don't make me expose your X account, Mandy. Don't make me do it.
Couple other names to watch that'll probably be in town, I would imagine, based off of them racing Eldora. Maybe Brian Brown. We know he's good at Port, likes Port, is healthy now. I would imagine he comes in for this. He was already in Eldora. I don't know for sure though, but I would imagine Parker Price Miller, the Indy Part 71 usually comes to Port, and he's been pretty good here. I think there's not that many like crazy like true outlaw guys, traveling guys anymore that are like
Does Ryan
independent.
Timms come in?
Ryan Timms, I would imagine so. I don't know. No, because they're outlaws are racing Knoxville, so I don't know. Knoxville and Huset's.
Yeah. No, probably not.
But I mean, he just won
I
Tusky,
didn't.
so you think he would come out for I don't know, $100,000?
Yeah, but
$100,000? Is it unless
Schedule.
he's going at? But I don't know if those. I don't know, but that's a name to watch out for.
That would be the only other one that I'm like,
Yeah.
The rest of them, yeah. Timms is running Knoxville. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Speaking of which, like I said, you have Tuesday, Wednesday racing, and this is another mistake by me. They're not racing Friday and Saturday. So Thursday night, it was supposed to be tomorrow night, rescheduled from before. The race that won't die, the Perk 40 at Jacksonville Speedway. That got rescheduled to Thursday. Hopefully that one goes off. That should be a very fun race. Cool bull ring. And then Saturday night, the World of Outlaws are at Knoxville. And then Sunday night, they're at Huset's. So again, racing all weekend long, all week from tomorrow through Sunday, hopefully weather permitting. But there is a lot of racing going on around here and with the World of Outlaws. I think them racing out there kind of limits maybe a couple people who would come by. You remember a couple years ago for Weikert, I mean, you would have outlaw guys like Gravel and Schuhart and them come in and run this race and then go. They used to have a race on Memorial Day that they would trek back to. They've changed their schedule up this year where they're pretty far Midwest now, where that's not even an option, and they're racing on the same day now. So
I can't believe they did that by an accident.
No, they didn't. But yeah, so you won't see any outlaws obviously here, as some Weikerts have in the past. 69K at Dark Horse. Yeah, I think as much as they've won there, and Ryan Smith's been really good there. He was good there on Saturday, had a charge for the field. You have to put him in Dark Horse category. Definitely a factor. Again, the format.
He has to be in Dark Horse. Go ahead.
The format is something that's a game changer here because it really puts a lot more people. The cream rises to the top. Don't get me wrong, because it is a 40-lap feature and everything on Sunday. But the format gives some different guys opportunities, especially depending on how the track goes and where you go out in time trials.
The 69K has to be a dark horse until Ryan wins a big one, in my opinion. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, 5-6 years ago with Lance in that car. It's a favorite category. Ryan's good. The car's good. We know that. When he wins the big one, he'll be favorite category, I think, next time.
Yeah. AJ Flick, Cody Lehman probably at Port. I don't know what AJ.
I don't know what Flick.
Lehman
I
will be there.
I don't know what their schedule is.
27H is the Dark Horse. Who's in the 27H?
Who's the driver?
Yeah, who's driving it? That'll be something interesting to keep an eye on. How many cars do we think we get? 50? 45 to 50, I think. Pretty. because there are some guys that were there on Saturday that would not normally be there, but you're going to get some more in, and you're going to get the entire high limit roster.
We almost had it.
Yeah, we almost had
I
it.
think you're 45 to 49. I don't know if you hit 50. I think some stay away this weekend that just raced. I think. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I think we'll get to 50. I think we hit 52.
Dylan Cisney, he'll either be in the 27 or his own 5. I
Yeah.
would think. No, Whittle will either be in a 67 or the 67G because now he has both of those. That's 2 different owners. He'll be in one of those 2 for that.
Favorite whoever finishes first. Thank you, Santos.
I think Port Royal Whittle will be in his own stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, that news didn't drop yet, as far as I know. The voice of the voiceless.
Like, wait,
of the 27H.
like, are they trolling or?
I think they are.
Do,
I think
do they
are.
not
They know something we don't know. Dale Blaney is a
guess I could
no.
just-
Yeah.
You just reach out and find out if I really wanted to, I guess.
Well, while you're doing that, before we get the drink and dump it, real quick, want to go over, put everybody next weekend, and we'll be talking a lot about this next week on the next show after we recap Weikert. Fallen First Responders race at Lincoln on May 30th. Great weekend of racing, and you have the Livingston Lawn Care parking lot party both Friday night. Double Barrel band will be playing in the overflow lot, and then Saturday all morning, food trucks, kids corner, DJ, kids raffle, bike and scooters giveaway, raffle baskets, cars, police cars, sprint cars, fire trucks, ambulances, all that, all on display. We will also be doing a pre-race show Saturday morning there during that parking lot party, so come check us out. All this goes toward, with the Silent Salute Foundation. Yes, Williams Grove is dark this weekend, right?
Is that has someone hacked his account? He knows everybody at Williams Grove.
No, actually, they used to race this Friday all the time. Did I miss it? No, I think they're dark this weekend. They used to race this Friday all the time. That was a big deal, I remember. Nope. Nope, they don't race. Williams Grove is dark this weekend. Anyway, back to the first responders race. A lot of great stuff going on. Don Livingston really puts and that whole crew puts a lot into this, and a lot of people are putting money into this. You got heat race sponsors, Max Stack, Racing Through Time Antiques and Collectibles, The Hangry Hanger, In Memory Brandon Little, Trone's Tag, Title and Notary, Shorty's Funnel Cakes, Mike's Small Engine Repair, Lehman Automotive, TK Motorsports, Brooker's French Fries, White Combs Produce, Dino Tech Controls, Hanover Autocraft. Your heat race sponsors there. Tire sponsors. I think I did talk to Don on Saturday. I think they're up to 20 right rear tires now given away. But some of those tire sponsors: Thornton Chevrolet, Livingston Lawn Care, Racers Used Parts Warehouse, L&M Tire and Wheel, Don Ott Racing Engines, Golf Cart Services, Steve Carr Motorsports, T&N Solutions, Bollinger Septic Services, Jeff Barnes Collision Center, Magoo's Motorcycles, Smuck Lumber, Jeff and Kendrick Bretzman, and Lincoln Speedway, all giving away tires. Like I said, I think they're up to 12 for the 410s and then 8 for the 358s. Also, other sponsors and new sponsors that found out. So York Excavating is giving $500 for a Fast Time Award. Lincoln Speedway Fire Crews also giving $350 to the 410 hard charger, $300 to the 358 hard charger, and Beer Hill Gang is giving $100 each to first 3 non-qualifiers in both divisions, so $600 there. Also, Darren and Mandy Pittman with Ultra Shield giving away, have some gift certificates here. Also for a Hard Luck Award, they'll be getting a free pack of 100 tear-offs, and then also a free set of seat belts. I can't remember what that's for, but they're giving away some gift certificates there. So more people coming on. Awesome with Darren Mandy Pittman to do that. 358 purse is raised for this. $2,000 to win, $1,000 and $25 for second, $400 to start. All thanks to Snell Baker Electric, Dirty Deeds, Mickley Orchard and Farm Market, Mama's Pizza, Dean's Auto Plaza, and Livingston Lawn Care. And again, 358 laps with the Silent Salute Foundation have sold out, but there are still about half of the 410 laps left. So let's get that filled. If anybody is interested, reach out to us, reach out to Silent Salute Foundation, Don Livingston, Liggett Speedway. Reach out to somebody. I would suggest the Silent Salute Foundation. They're the ones taking the money on this and leading the way on that. $150 for a lap. You can't have lap 22 because that's ours. All the twos were taken, but we got 22. I think there's about 13 or 14 laps left. So let's fill it up. Great that the 358 sold out too as well, really making that race even bigger. I mean, it's $100 a lap. So if a 358 driver leads 200 laps and wins, 200 laps, leads like 20 laps and wins the race, they're winning $4,000, and that's pretty awesome. So really, really excited for it. We'll be talking a lot more about it next week. Make sure you circle it, get out there to it. And if you want to be a part of it more, just reach out. Drink it and dump it. We already had some people putting them in there because we're going past their bedtime. It is a long show. Appreciate everybody for sticking through. You want to go first, Jay-Z?
I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit on this one, if that's all right. I gave you the other ones.
Yeah, you gave me the other ones.
Drink it, Logan Rumsey. Can't. It's first for career 410 win. Last year, one of my bold takes was what 4 or 5 first-time 410 winners, and we hit the number. Did not make that bet this year, but it's always special, and it's one of our guys. So Logan Rumsey, drink it. Thanks for being here tonight. Great interview. Quietly a great personality. Love the kid. And his dad. Love seeing them every weekend. And they have our sticker on the car. So shout out the Rumseys.
Yeah.
Dump it. I'm going to go back to a quick comment. Brandon, insight on what happened on YouTube last week. No. This is not the place I talk about that stuff. That was something I wrote personally, and I'll leave it there. This show is about this show and what we do and talk about, and as fans of sprint car racing, that was something totally separate. But dump it to the whole situation, to be honest. I don't regret what I wrote. Probably wouldn't have gotten so much reach in a dramatic way if it was just left alone to be where it was at. But I believe that situation is mostly resolved. Handled that on Saturday, I believe. I believe same page moving forward. I do believe so. That got taken care of at the racetrack on Saturday. I believe in trying to handle things like an adult, man to man, and I did that. I'll just leave it there, but I'll dump it to the whole thing. So just don't like the negativity, even if I brought it on myself. Don't love that. Don't love that it kind of, and listen, I know when I wrote it that it probably would come with some of that, but there was extremely zero on my page negative. And I received just as many private messages supporting what I wrote. So again, not that I needed to be right. It was an opinion. I'm not the authority. I'm not the end all be all on the topic. But I'm like any other human, and there's some things I don't like. And speaking for it, people criticize me for speaking, and then people criticize me if I don't speak. So like, what do you do? What would you do in that situation? Do you just leave it alone and let it be what it is? And I care about the sport more than I care about me being a part of the sport, if that makes sense. Like, it's not about me. This show, like, yeah, we're in front of microphones and we're in front of cameras, but we don't do this in some sort of authority, like some sort of authority on the sport. We're idiots. We don't research this stuff. We have a good time with this. Like, we're fans,
Mhm.
and I've said that hundreds and hundreds of times on here that we're strictly
I think
fans
we
and
say
that.
it every
And
week.
yeah, like every week, like literally every week, we're just fans of the sport. And I happen to have a camera, and I think I have a talent for it, but I'm probably way better at that than I am at this. But at the same time, it's still from a love of the sport, and uh, wanted to stay alive and keep going. And if there's something that seems to be out of balance, why would I not try to? I don't want to bring it back to balance because I'm not the authority on it. But if I see it and I think it's a threat to the sport, not me, I don't really care. I'm not in it for my own benefit. I don't do this for my own benefit. Jimmy, are we getting rich off this? I don't know. Maybe you
Oh
are.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
exactly. So neither is photography. It's not money there. It's not about the money. It has never been about the money. And that's the whole point. It's not about that. It's not about me. It's not about any of that. It's about the cars and the teams and the sponsors and the trucks and the fans. We need more fans. We get more fans, we get more money for drivers. We get more money from sponsors. We get more businesses attracted to it. It's about keeping the sport first. Period. End of sentence. If my post didn't do that or made people feel like I was putting myself in front of it, it was actually the opposite. I'm trying to get the balance back. My point was to try to get the imbalance I see back to a balance, and it being about the sport, not about us, and keeping keeping the main thing the main thing.
Yep.
If me speaking up feels like I took the main thing away from the main thing, what do? Keep it in silence, let it continue to happen, and it blossoms into something ugly? No, I don't think that was the right thing to do, and I made the choice to make the post. And to be honest, I thought there would be more negativity around it than I got. I was surprised by how much positivity there was by it. Responses to it, minus like 4 people. So if the 4 people got mad and upset, then apparently the shoe fit really well, I guess. So they wanted to turn it into a being about them, which was the point of the post. That was
Yeah.
my dump,
Well
and I'll
said.
leave it there.
Yeah. Well said. Well, we'll leave that topic. Hopefully
That's
it
That's
doesn't.
the end of it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. My drink it. I want to give a shout out. I have a couple small ones. They're all big ones. Adam Buchanan and the Empire Sprint Series for coming down. A lot of those guys made a long trip, put on a great show at Port Royal. Happy to meet Adam. It sounded great in the booth up there. They were all very enthusiastic. Everybody with that series it was really cool. Shout out to Port Royal for having them and hopefully continue to having back. I think it was great. I also want to give a shout out to Williams Grove Speedway for pushing through on Thursday, having a great show with the World of Outlaw late models that you could tell that they were amped up, had a great car count, great fan count. And then I'm going to also drink at the Chase Dietz. Team's on another level right now. Dump it to it wasn't a lot to dump it to. Thought everything was pretty positive this weekend, except for maybe your whole little deal. I'll dump it to that a little bit.
It ended up positive. It's all good.
Yeah, it did. It ended up positive in the end.
I mean, we'll see.
Dump it.
But yeah.
Let's dump it to the weather forecast and hope it changes. Let's get to some of yours. We appreciate everybody throwing theirs in. If I missed yours, I apologize because there's a lot going back. But Eric Schneck, Corey Day, drinking it to Corey Day, won at Dover and going to win again tomorrow at Grandview. Yeah, it's another name to watch for.
By the way, all the NASCAR Corey Day haters, I hope you are just I hope you're
how
bathing in
about
your
it?
own tears. Bathing in your own tears, because all of us as dirt people knew the talent that was there. It doesn't just work. He's never driven anything asphalt in his freaking life.
Mhm.
Yes, he's been thrust into this. He's doing the best he can with what he has. He's better than your favorite driver. Is that the saying?
Yeah. I think
Listen,
him and
he's a good one. We all know that from this show, but everybody on here knows that. But if this was a nationwide thing, it's like he's allowed to make mistakes. Kid ain't perfect, but he's absolutely talented. And anybody that tries to convince me otherwise is not going to do it. Like,
The kid,
it's just not going to do it.
I think him and Connor Zilic both this week, and Connor Zilic had a great cup run, probably his best cup run to date, at a track that you didn't really think he would do well at. You think of him as more a road course guy. Obviously there's a lot of talent. He's won a lot of oval races with the other series too, but both of those guys definitely had a good weekend. Dump it to my Corey Nisha pool picks. Yeah, I think a lot of people got busted when half a high limit went to Port Royal on Saturday. Steph, drink it to Logan Rumsey and chase for the awesome wins. Dump it to all the wrecks. Hope everyone is okay. Also, dump it to this heat. I will say it is at least a drier heat. It's not too humid yet. So if we're going to have some heat, at least let it be this way. Clayton Myers, drink it to the Josh Tuckey debut. Another Biglerville canner. Dump it to the PA Posse TV. 3 months in, still rough and glitchy. Replays take forever to post. Sprint Car Limited is better and available. Yeah, they had something go down at some point last night. They're still working it out for sure. Let me get back down here. You guys throw a lot of comments in. We really, really appreciate it. Until right now when I have to go and try to find things. I'm kidding. Santos. Drink it to portable lights saving the day at BAPS. Yeah, how about it? And Lincoln changing their program to a time trial show. Dump it to the 360 flip outside of turn 3 at Port. Yeah, we didn't really talk about that too much. The predicted weather and Williams Grove competing against Port on Saturday. What? Oh, American Flat Track. That's what they're doing this weekend. I forgot about that. And honorable mention to you guys, as always, for another great show. I wouldn't put that as competition, Santos, to be honest. I think Williams Grove is trying to capitalize and try to get something this weekend. I don't think you're going to pull people away necessarily. Mandy, drink it. Logan Rumsey and all other weekend warriors. Schuhart, pointing to the sky for Scruffy, Bacon Knight, and USAC, Dietz, ESS winner, Randy Kunkel, and Craig Perigo at Path. Dirt Vision, ASPCA. Yeah, that was a pretty ugly situation. And winning the pool. Good for you. Dump it. Ballpark DSS car. Chaz Video Shenanigans. Wreck Torn Up Race Cars. Weather Canceling. Knoxville Husitz. And a lot of other Midwest racing. Eldora pool picks. Showing up at Port. BAPS lights. And most importantly, RIP Piss Juice Chuck.
Sorry.
RIP. I'm sure he has more on deck. Brandon Zirk. Drink it to Rumsey for his first 410 win. Also drink it to Denny Hamlin on the $1 million All-Star win. And dump it to me having to work tomorrow and not being able to go to the high limit race. I hear you, Brandon. I'm with you. Tony PA Dirt Tracker Promotions. Drink it to Logan. Great kid. Lots of talent. He will be great to watch in the upcoming years. Dump it to JJ Loss. Went in a little hard to turn 3 at Williams Grove. Then got T-boned. That's yeah. That was a tough wreck to watch. Todd Fritz, dump it to Dylan Norris, losing his only 410 motor last night. That's tough. And Dave Scott Smeltzer, drink it to Logan, win Friday. Both Spring Grove alumni on win Saturday. Logan Schuart and Chase Seats, and Chase wins on his birthday. And at BAPS, dump it to all the wrecked cars and drink it to the Staben Motorsports team for the weekend they had. Well said. Again, drink it to all of you people who are tuning in live to us. We've been getting a lot more followers. We've getting some traction. So we're almost at 3,000 followers on Facebook. So if you are watching and you're not subscribed, please like and subscribe here on Facebook, over on YouTube. We also do, I always forget that we also do this over on X. So check that out too. A lot of jokes. It was a lot of jokes tonight. Apparently, I'm in mid-form. Can't wait to see everyone this weekend. Cheers to you, Santos. No, you're good. We don't usually see you joke that often, to be honest. You're always our voice of reason. So it was cool to see a lot of jokes today, especially with Logan on the show, general manager at T2T. Thanks him for coming on the show as well. And yeah, Jay-Z, man. Getting fired up for this week. Let's go.
Let's get after it, man. Let's have a good. Everybody get to a racetrack, have some fun. It was really hot this week. I'm like I'm in summer tan mode already, brother. And we'll be in hoodies this weekend, but it will be the racetrack hopefully. So
Absolutely.
enjoy.
See you guys next week. Next Monday, we'll recap Weikert and preview the fallen first responders race at Lincoln.